Yeah, what's the deal? It's your boy LiLSilver. Um, about to discuss um some impact. And I'm about to respond to a podcast um that I be watching a lot called Impact Lounge with BQ. He was solo. He usually be with TW, but he went solo last night, and I'm gonna respond to what he had to say. In just a minute while I bring it up. Okay, let's get it. Um, welcome. Um, in the last video, I am a YouTube gamer, but I do like wrestling, especially Impact Wrestling, formerly known as TNA. You can catch them every Thursday night at 8/7 Central on Access TV. Check with your local listings. You may be getting Access TV and don't even know it, folks. So make sure if you got cable, you have a cable app. Make sure you check your uh cable package. Like I said, you may be getting Access TV and don't even know it. Access TV can be reached in North America to over 50 million people, so it's no excuse why Access is getting low viewership. People, stop DVRing the show or watch it live because live counts. And also, click in the description to purchase Impact's merchandise with the stars, um, clothing, you know, so you can represent them when you go to an Impact live event. Cause there ain't nothing like an Impact live event, TNA Impact, live event, you know. And also, you can click in the description with the live events and let you know if they have a live event in your area. We gotta get these guys back to once what they was because they are now a developmental company. They are owned by Anthem Sports Entertainment, and Anthem Sports Entertainment ain't broke. Impact is far from broke. They can afford any major talent with ease. So, without further ado, first get into it with this podcast match out here, and I'm gonna be responding if he's right, if he's, I'm gonna be responding for real, cause they could be harsh on Impact sometime, but hey, you do want the guys to get better, but sometimes eh, they could do what they do. I mean, they can only do so much for right now until some major talent get out their contracts with WWE and AEW. You feel me? But yeah.
Yeah. What's up? What's good? It's your boy BQ with the Impact Lounge, number one place to be for the Impact Wrestling fan, and this is the Cool Factor podcast. Going solo on that ass, just like my man Mike likes to say, quoting some old 90s hip hop there, so I can respect that. But I am in the saddle solo today. TW is on vacation. If you haven't noticed, TW and I both take a lot of vacations. I think this is his second one this year. I've had two. I got my third one coming up soon because I'm one of those dudes. I work hard, but I play hard too. So I'm always talking about being at work all the time. It's for a reason. I play hard when it's time to enjoy with the family. I like to take that opportunity. So that's what's up with TW right now. Hope he's enjoying himself. He will be back with me next week. We were doing pretty good for a little while, getting the show out a lot earlier. And this particular one is coming at you guys on Tuesday, which I hate doing Tuesday. I always say that. But the weekends that are so difficult for me is my Air Force Reserve weekends. Like with my normal job, I can get away with watching Impact off to the side on my phone when I'm at work. But when I'm doing my military duty, I cannot. It's not that I can't. I just don't have the reception to do it. But it's easy in my normal job to just put the phone next to me and you know I can watch it like that. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish watching Impact until today. I started some of it last night, finished it up today. So I'm going to talk about it here, and you guys know when I'm riding solo, I tend to go through it fairly quickly. But there are some other things I want to talk about first, things that are on my mind. If it's your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button. We are
Yeah, you heard the man. Hit the subscribe button. I put the Impact Lounge YouTube uh link in the description box of my channel, and make sure you subscribe to your boy. Um, Cause like I said, I'm a YouTube gamer mostly, and right now I already got The Walking Dead, all seasons. I played 1, 2, 4, Beyond Two Souls, all of them, and Detroit Becomes Human, all of them, and also Walking Dead DLC. It was only 3 episodes, but yeah. Subscribe to both of our channels. You feel me? But there's gotta be more of us to speak out about what Impact needs to improve to get better, to get back to when the Anthem first purchased them in 2017. You know, get into them big arenas, make sure everything is sounding nice. You know, make sure they sign in some major talent and not these indie people, because most of these people don't is doing nothing for Impact. I mean, yeah, they talented, but we need some major talent with some big names like they used to sign back in the day. You feel me? Um, but yeah. Um, Subscribe to the Impact Lounge. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell. You know. But like I said before, hundreds turn into thousands. Thousands turn into millions. There's gotta be more of us to spread the word. Let them know that Impact, formerly known as TNA, is back because Anthem Sports Entertainment is not going to be running no commercial ads. So it's up to us to get their name out there. So their name is more out there. It'll be more major talent when their contract is up with AEW and WWE going to Impact Wrestling. You know, because these people used to be well known. They was freaking TNA Impact for real. So yeah, and anything he's talking about, I will be responding if needed.
live streaming today. I will not be getting into any kind of comments or anything when I'm doing it by myself. If I'm messing with the comments, it makes it kind of difficult to do. It's a lot easier when TW is rolling with me. So, the first thing that I've got on my mind right now is Impact Wrestling merchandise, shirts in particular. Don't get me started on all the other stuff or the things that don't exist. Like, for instance, I say don't get me started, but let's talk about this for a second. Every week, not every week, every month on social media, you see these beautiful photos. The wrestlers, especially in knockouts, they're sharing them, all the different poses. They're all over social media, all over Instagram. They're the new Twitter profile pictures, bio pictures, whatever they're called, all over the place on social media. You cannot purchase any of these 8x10s on the site. I don't understand that. That's not what I want to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is the t-shirt game. Now the designs, they're stepping up, especially that latest Trey Miguel one. But what I wanted to talk about is that Steve Macklin came out with a new shirt not long ago. And I'm going to order, I've got all the Macklin shirts, so this is just another one that I know that I'm going to order. So when he came at it against all odds, he was dressed like the cameraman, zips down the hoodie. It was very AW esque because they have a way of debuting new merchandise and they tie it into what's going on the show in a way that people are like, oh, I want that, you know. So it was very AW esque the way he pulls down the zipper and he's got the tag him and bag him shirt. Here's my beef with this. That shirt should have released on Shop Impact that night. That second when that showed up on our screens, we should have been able to go to Impact's Twitter or the Facebook, not the Facebook because they don't know what they're doing with that anymore. The website, and it should have just been right there, boom. Instead, the shirt comes out a week and a half later. Like, get the new Steve Macklin shirt. When the iron is cold, it's cool, it's on ice. So that kind of thing, I don't understand. It's been actually bothering me for a good week or so ever since the shirt came out. I'm just like, why do they wait so long? This is the benefit. This is the one benefit Impact has with a taped product, because we know there's a lot of disadvantages to taping your show. The one advantage that they have is that they know what's going to show up on TV a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, 3 weeks in advance. They know what the episode is going to be. They're not doing a live show where they don't know how the audience is going to act. They don't know if they're going to chant something. They don't know if something's going to catch on organically or not. The show is taped. So when that happens, like when you have um, a debuting guy or someone returning, or you can release this shirt in conjunction with the show as it airs. There's no excuse for it to come out when they release these things. When Mia Yim showed up and she debuted, I understand that was the Impact Plus special, and I think those are live. I know they used to be recorded. I actually have never looked into it. I think they're actually live now. Could be totally wrong, but same shit. When she debuted, there should have been a shirt on deck for her, because that moment where it's new, especially when it's a new face, or if it's, but anything that's new, whatever it is in this world, that release date, that point of impact, that first boom, the first time we see it, that is the hottest possible period you have for that product. And you guys hear me talk about Cornette quite a bit on the show, and he was talking about Matt and Jeff Hardy in AEW, and their first match was some, wrestling some underneath tag team, and he was like, they're never going to be more popular in that company than the first time they showed up together as the reuniting Hardy Boys. Like, you cannot get that back. You can't get that moment back. So why is their first match some throwaway free TV match against underneath talent? It should have been at a debut at the.
Yeah, the Hard Boys is done, to be honest. Cause when they came back from TNA Impact before AEW came in the picture, I wasn't really too excited. Yeah, cause I thought they was gonna finish off their career in the WWE like the Dudley Boys did. You see, the Dudley Boys ain't going over to AEW or nothing like that. They're done for good because they're in the Hall of Fames. I think Impact Hall of Fame and WWE Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they're done. And the Hardy Boys, I don't know why they still going. Um, they didn't made a lot of money, and every company they ever was in, they was tag team champions. So, oh well. I let you get to listen to him.
Not the debut, at a pay per view against like the Bucks or something like that. But the point is, what he's saying is that first moment is the hottest something is going to be. I know I'm talking a lot about this, but it has been bothering me lately. The merchandise just rolling out so slow, and just there's no rhyme or reason for it. I think it would fly off the shelves a lot quicker if you just put it out quicker. Because what they're putting out online is just a T-shirt mock-up. It's not. They don't even have to have the shirt printed. They probably print there. I ordered one shirt a couple weeks ago. I don't remember what it was, but it came from Collar and Elbow. So I don't know if they have a deal with them where they outsource. Here's a design, boom, they print it. I don't know, but it did come from directly from Collar and Elbow. But other than that, I think they can press fairly quickly, fairly easily. Pretty sure they can do it like on demand. So, man, yeah, that was a little rant about T-shirts and merchandise, but it's you guys hear me use that phrase like leaving money on the table. That's leaving money on the table when you wait for the iron to just be ice cold. and then you put something out. I don't get it, folks. I just don't get it. I think that's all I had about merch. I feel like I had one other point, but I'm not gonna keep beating a dead horse. Another thing I want to talk about. If you guys listen to
First of all, you can. Wait, I don't know what he was. Let me rewind because wait, what did he start talking about?
don't understand that. That's not what I want to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is the T-shirt game. Now the designs, they're stepping up. You know, it's easy in my normal job to just put the phone next to me and I can watch it like that. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish watching Impact until today. I started some of it last night, finished it up today. So I'm going to talk about it here, and you guys know when I'm riding solo, I tend to go through it fairly quickly. But there are some other things I want to talk about first, things that are on my mind. If it's your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button. We are live streaming today. I will not be getting into any kind of comments or anything when I'm doing it by myself. If I'm messing with the comments, it makes it kind of difficult to do. It's a lot easier when TW is rolling with me. So, the first thing that I've got on my mind right now is Impact Wrestling merchandise, shirts in particular. Don't get me started on all the other stuff or the things that don't exist. Like, for instance, I say don't get me started, but let's talk about this for a second. Every week, not every week, every month on social media, you see these beautiful photos. The wrestlers, especially in knockouts, they're sharing them, all the different poses. They're all over social media, all over Instagram. They're the new Twitter profile pictures, bio pictures, whatever they're called, all over the place on social media. You cannot purchase any of these 8x10s on the site. I don't understand that. That's not what I want to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is the t shirt game. Now, the designs, they're stepping up, especially that latest Trey Miguel one. But what I wanted to talk about is that Steve Macklin came out with a new shirt not long ago. And I'm going to order, I've got all the Macklin shirts, so this is just another one that I know that I'm going to order. So when he came at it against all odds, he was dressed like the cameraman, zips down the hoodie. It was very AW esque because they have a way of debuting new merchandise and they tie it into what's going on the show in a way that people are like, oh, I want that, you know? So it was very AW esque the way he pulls down the zipper and he's got the tag him and bag him shirt. Here's my beef with this. That shirt should have released on Shop Impact that night. That second when that showed up on our screens, we should have been able to go to Impact's Twitter or the Facebook, not the Facebook because they don't know what they're doing with that anymore. The website, and it should have just been right.
Yeah, BQ is right. Uh, and y'all could go to the Shop Impact. I got that link in the description. How you can like purchase Impact's merchandise. Um, let me go to they shop thing. Okay, that's the roster. Let's see, Shop Impact. Okay, here we go. That's the. They got a lot of good merchandise. They got the DVD for sale from Summerversary, which was decent. Could have been better. It's all the T-shirts, Impact shirts. We got Trey Miguel, new T-shirt. Sammy Cunningham, the Death Machine, one of the top talents. Matt Taven. We have Josh Alexander shirt. We got Tag 'em or Bag 'em. That's the Steve Macklin shirt that BQ was talking about, and it's from $24.99 to $26.99. That's a good price. That's a real good price for that T-shirt. You know. And we got DVDs. We got more shirts for sale. But you got the Honor No More T-shirt. You just need to get more. We got Tasha Steele's Fire Flavor Champ T-shirt. Uh, her T-shirt's a decent price. Johnny Swinger, if anybody is a fan of him. But yeah, the Macron T-shirt, tag 'em or bag 'em. It's right now. But I agree with them. They should have put it on sale that right then and there, and it would have sold like hotcakes. That's for sure. But yeah, BQ is right about that.
Right there, boom. Instead, the shirt comes out a week and a half later. Like, get the new Steve Macklin shirt. When the iron is cold, it's cool, it's on ice. So that kind of thing, I don't understand. It's been actually bothering me for a good week or so, ever since the shirt came out. I'm just like, why do they wait so long? This is the benefit. This is the one benefit Impact has with a taped product, because we know there's a lot of disadvantages to taping your show.
Hold on, everybody. I'll be right back. I gotta do something. Shoot. But yeah, he is right about that. They gotta learn how to market their products right. It should went on their website as soon as possible when he revealed the T-shirt. You know, if that was like a WWE or a AEW, they would have revealed that They would put the T-shirt. It would have dropped on the website ASAP, so everybody could like sell that sucker out. You know. But yeah. Let's see. Okay, I'm back. I had to pin that right quick, but yeah, Impact Wrestling every Thursdays on Access TV. I got it pinned. So you know where to find them. 50 million people get access, like I said before,
The one
and
advantage
and at least 1 or 2 million people should be watching Impact Wrestling every Thursday, not DVR. You gotta watch it live because they count how many people watch it live than on DVR, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah.
that they have is that they know what's going to show up on TV a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, 3 weeks in advance. They know what the episode is going to be. They're not doing a live show where they don't know how the audience is going to act. They don't know if they're going to chant something. They don't know if something's going to catch on organically or not. The show is taped. So when that happens, like when you have um, a debuting guy or someone returning, or you can release this shirt in conjunction with the show as it airs. There's no excuse for it to come out when they release these things. When Mia Yim showed up and she debuted, I understand that was the Impact Plus special, and I think those are live. I know they used to be recorded.
Yeah,
I
they
actually have
are.
never
They
looked
are
into it.
live.
I think they're actually live.
Yeah, the Impact specials are live, Big Q. And to everybody who didn't know that, they are live. They're not taped. They're live because they always would say such and such. The next time we go live, it would be at this date and time. You know, for this particular pay per view. But yeah, it's live.
Now could be totally wrong, but same shit. When she debuted, there should have been a shirt on deck for her, because that moment where it's new, especially when it's a new face, or if it's, but anything that's new, whatever it is in this world, that release date, that point of impact, that first boom, the first time we see it, that is the hottest possible period you have for that product.
Yeah, I agree totally. That's how you market things. That's how you get people talking, and that's how you get relevant again. Um, when Impact was TNA Impact back in the day, they knew how to move their merchandise at at the Shop Impact website. They would put the stars merchandise online so people can purchase it and sell it out. Sometimes it be sold out, sometimes it be almost sold out, but that's how you um do your marketing skills. Promote. Start with like their merchandise. Just clicking the link. They got some good merchandise on their website, guys. It's in the description.
And you guys hear me talk about Cornette quite a bit on the show, and he was talking about Matt and Jeff Hardy in AEW, and their first match was some, wrestling some underneath tag team. And he was like, they're never going to be more popular in that company than the first time they showed up together as the reuniting Hardy Boys. Like, you cannot get that back. You can't get that moment back. So why is their first match
And this is what I don't understand. Why do people think like the Hardy Boys have not been together in a while? If I'm not mistaken, I'm I'm gonna look it up to see um when they came back to WWE. Okay, 2017, they came back at WrestleMania for a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. That was like 2017. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, uh, about 6 years. Matt Hardy had left, I think, in 2019, way before the pandemic had happened, way before AEW had launched and AEW was getting ready to launch. But still, um, no duh, they came back in WWE, and most of their career, um, they was part of WWE until they left, and then they spent like almost the end of their career in TNA Impact. You know, They was there in 2016 with the whole broken hearted gimmick. That's how uh, WWE let them use their gimmick for a while over there, but it didn't go so good. It was an epic fail, so they scrapped that and let them be themselves. And then Jeff Hardy was always coming out to the original Hardy Boys theme music. Into I think it was last year they had just let him have his own theme music because he said he was gonna use his theme music, which I like. The I know it's not writing on the wall, but the lyrics go. Can you see the writing on the wall? But yeah, he had just uh, they just had start having live because they said when Jeff Hardy said in the statement that when the fans come back, he was gonna use his music, and he wasn't even in WWE for too long because of some things that they thought he had did, but But anyways, long story short, when the Hardy Boys debut in other companies, new companies, it doesn't have that flavor like it once had. Like I can see if it was like back in the day with TNA, Impact, and they came from WWE, but we seen it too many times. You know, when they coming back or whatever, reunited, we seen it too many times.
Match, some throwaway free TV match against underneath talent. It should have been at a debut at the not the debut at a pay per view against like the Bucks or something like that. But the point is, what he's saying is that first moment is the hottest something is going to be. I know I'm talking a lot about this, but it has been bothering me lately. The merchandise just rolling out so slow and just there's no rhyme or reason for it. I think it would fly off the shelves a lot quicker
Hmm.
if you just put it out quicker because what they're putting out online is just a t-shirt mock-up. It's not they don't even have to have the shirt printed. They probably print there.
Hmm.
I ordered one shirt a couple weeks ago. I don't remember what it was, but it came from Collar and Elbow. So I don't know if they have a deal with them where they outsource. Here's a design, boom, they print it. I don't know, but it did come from directly from Collar.
Yeah, they I think Impact BQ. I think and I'm telling the other people that's watching this or whatever. Um, I think they using a third party. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I think that's why they're using a third party. But yeah, even if they use a third party, yeah, they should promote the T-shirts during the show or our commercial ads during Impact on Access TV. Start running ads. Get the merchandise out there, and y'all can click in the link and go to impactshop.com. The link is in the description.
And Elbow. But other than that, I think they can press fairly quickly, fairly easily. Pretty sure they can do it like on demand. So man, yeah, that was a little rant about t-shirts and merchandise, but it's you guys hear me use that phrase like leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
That's leaving money on the table when you wait for the iron to just be ice cold and then you put something out.
Hmm.
I don't get it, folks. I just don't get it. I think that's all I had about merch. I feel like I had one other point, but I'm not gonna keep beating a dead horse. Another thing I want to talk about. If you guys
Again, BQ. It's more of us that we have to speak out. You speak the truth, okay? Impact Lounge speaks the truth. You, BQ, TW, me, Lewis Carlson of the Alliance Pro Network, the Insiders, um, Wrestling Pro Network, um, speak the truth about Impact. The only way Impact will get better unless we continue to speak out, and there's got to be more of us because, like I said, hundreds turn into thousands, and thousands turn into millions, and that'll create a movement, earthquake movement in the wrestling industry that's gonna get Impact back up to the top, like when Anthem first brought them in 2017. So no, you're not beating a dead horse.
listen to the AEW Unrestricted podcast, this podcast they do, I think, weekly. Kiera Hogan was the latest guest on there. And of all the Impact talents they have in that company, they haven't had too many do interviews. They've had a few here and there. I was shocked to see Kira on there because as long as she was with the company, she wasn't doing jack shit. Now she's part of the baddies. She has a good thing going, and things are starting to take off for her. She's not winning matches or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, but I mean she's part of she's working with Jay, who's a TNT champion. She's part of one of the bigger parts of the show. So, but I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that she was the latest interview. In the beginning, it gave you some perspective on what goes through the mind of a Impact star sometimes. So she was talking about Diamante going to where was it? Tallahassee? Is that where they were doing in Florida at the time? I don't quite remember. Going to the AEW tapings, dark, whatever it was, and she said she was always in a good mood. She's always happy. She was like excited to go to work, and she was leaving every week to do this. And Kiera was saying I was wrestling once a month, and at first she didn't name drop Impact in the first like quarter of this thing, and I was like, oh my god, she's now her, you know. But as the interview progressed, she talked about
I got something to say about that. I love Kiera Hogan. I have nothing bad to say about her. I'm not gonna diss her or nothing. I'm just my opinion. You know, Impact was TNA Impact for crying out loud. Okay, for you, I guess she's still holding a grudge because I guess Anthem Sports Entertainment that owns Impact Wrestling they want to give her or pay her for what she's worth, and she's worth a lot of money. No doubt about that. They should pay her what she was worth. But don't diss a company that got your start, that got your name out there to be on television. Okay? Now mind you, um, it was a few things that they should have did. She should have been knockout champion by then, At least when she was on her way out the company. They only gave her the Knockouts Tag Team Championship when they first brought it back. They are the first ever. Fire Forever is the first ever Knockouts Tag Team Champions, and she should have been champion because she had been with Impact for a long time. Like when Anthem first bought them, she was with them since I guess 2017, 2018. She was with them. She stuck it out, for a long time. Even when they start going into small arenas, which I would never understand. Um, but yeah, um, this is a legendary company. All I'm saying, Anthem give Impact Wrestling unlimited amounts of money. People won't bash your name because you have been around for 20 years. Anthem, I don't know if you understand it, but Impact, TNA Impact, have been around for 20 years. They made it. They suppressed RH, Ring of Honor. Um, I don't want to see them be the next after NWA because NWA they are doing worse in the viewership than Impact is. Because even though NWA um, got TNA Impact started, that ain't the same NWA from back in the day. That's for sure. But yeah, I'll let y'all get back into what BQ's saying.
her time there quite a bit. But it gave me some perspective that you know, when these wrestlers see their peers, because they want to wrestle, they want to work, and even though there's probably a lot out there who enjoy the part-time schedule, it's probably more the people coming from AEW that want the part. I mean, AEW, WWE who want that part-time schedule. Like, these dudes, Cardona and Heath and stuff. They're probably like, oh hell,
Yeah, because they don't have to work as much. Well, mind you, the reason why Impact is have a part-time schedule because they in small arenas and They kind of faded away into the darkness in like 2019, and then the pandemic hit, and that was kind of bad for them. And they should have took that as an opportunity to, I guess, reinvent themselves one more time before AEW took over the place. You know, they started signing all these talent coming from WWE, and you know, but yeah, because TNA Impact, they used to sign people to full time contract deals back in the day. So when Anthem bought them, I don't know why Anthem is trying to treat Impact like they are the developmental company. Listen, Impact Wrestling has another developmental section. It's called Gut Check, and Gut Check is a developmental. Okay, you don't have a developmental within a developmental company. That doesn't add up or make sense. Okay, so Impact has Gut Check, which Gut Check is like NXT in WWE. NXT 2.0. My correction. We branded them. But yeah, uh, which Impact, that could be Impact's second show to go on Access TV. Like I say, on a Saturday or a Sunday night. You know, when there ain't no pay-per-views showing. Gut Check could be Impact's NXT, because Impact is not a developmental company. You don't have a developmental company doing something else that's developmental, which Gut Check is a developmental section of Impact Wrestling. This company been around for 20 years, okay? And like I said before, Anthem Sports Entertainment needs to give Impact unlimited amounts of money, because I tell you this, with whoever contract comes up in WWE or AEW, that's a major talent. Y'all better give Impact Wrestling unlimited amounts of money to sign some major names to get your name out there. Because if you don't, you're gonna be in serious trouble. I'm not gonna give up on Impact Wrestling. This was TNA Impact, for crying out loud. Like I said before, they need to get rid of the square ring, because that's not what defines them. I know people hate it. Some people hate the 6-sided ring. BQ, TW, they hate that. But I'm gonna tell you this: the 6-sided ring defined Impact Wrestling. It made them different. It made them unique, and it made them one of a kind, like RVD. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all get into what BQ is talking.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But some of these younger talents want to wrestle. They want to get out there. Now, Impact's done a better job with that over the years with the Impact Plus specials and things like that. Because there was that one time, I mean, not one time, but many times where they were recording television, 6, 7, 8 episodes at once, and then the wrestlers had nothing to do with the company for
I'm gonna
months
take
after
one
that
quick
until they
break,
showed
and
up
I'll be right
again. So
back,
now,
y'all.
they are showing up to work every month, working
Okay. Right back. Let's get back into it. Okay.
in a couple days doing the extra shows, the pay per views, and then they found some other stuff for some of them to do. But it gave me some perspective because a young star like that like wanted to be doing something. She wanted to wrestle. And when they released Diamante, I said, I said this back when they did it. I said it's not in their best interest to release someone who's part of a couple in the company because if that person moves on and does something bigger, their mate, their partner is naturally going to want to go with them. You feel me on that? And that's basically what happened. If you're listening to the story, she said, "I want to be a part of that. I want to do that." You know, she said something really interesting, and I know I mentioned this too, but I didn't say it with full confidence because I didn't know if it was right or not. She said that she never challenged for the Knockouts Championship while she was with the company, and that was because they straight up asked her, "Why did you leave Impact?" And she said because, and I'm totally paraphrasing here, but she was basically saying, "I did everything I could do there." And to backtrack 1 second, one thing I always said was Kira Hogan was their biggest at the time biggest homegrown star. And I don't mean she was a superstar like she was up here, but on the roster, as far as someone they brought in from scratch and built up, like they did the best job with her. Rohit was up there too. There's a couple of people who were in the ballpark, but really Kira is the one that they did the best job with.
I'm gonna stop him on Heat. It's not like Impact didn't try with the other guys with Rohit. I mean, they tried. I mean, WWE tries with some of their talent, like for example, Deanna Purrazzo. She was stuck in the old NXT, and for some reason, they released her. They couldn't. They didn't know what to do with her. I guess she was like a baby face at the time in the company. I mean, companies. Some companies can't. Certain people they just can't. Um, don't know what to do with them. So, and then there's others like Kira Hogan. Yeah, she was like one of the top knockouts. And I'm sorry that Anthem didn't give her what she's worth, which Anthem needs to give Impact Wrestling. Like I said before, I always say it before. Give Impact needs unlimited resources to sign top major talent, male and female.
But what she was saying was that she felt like she did what she could do. She was 2 times knockouts tag team champion. She wanted to hold the knockouts title, but they never gave her an opportunity. They never gave her the program to do it. Now she may have got a title shot here or there because you know what that there was times where they hand out the bullshit title shots. You know, I even think she might have because she in her first match she beat Chelsea Green and then I know Chelsea won the title and then she wrestled Chelsea again. So I don't know if it was non-title or what. She might have had like a BS match here or there, but she never had a program for the title. Where people think she might win. She didn't get to cut promos. She didn't get to do anything like that. And she talked about Mickey James was coming in, and, Ty was coming in. They're bringing this and this, and she saw the writing on the wall. There's no opportunity for me to wrestle for the Knockouts Championship because they're bringing in these big stars into the division. Like her time came and went, and they didn't take her to that next level. I think her character work and her progression was, let's say, 80% her. I don't think it was anyone doing her a favor. I think that was really her working on herself. But as the interview progresses, she speaks pretty glowingly about her time there. Really liked what she was doing. She talked about Tasha Steelz really wanting Tasha to be her partner in Impact. And there's been speculation that Tasha Steelz is possibly done with the company. And I've heard people say, "Oh, well, she
First of all, I would Anthem needs to give Tasha Steelz what she's worth. Okay, they cannot lose one of the top knockouts in Impact Wrestling. You feel me? Give her what she wants. Give her free career reign. You know, give her another title shot. I know it's in her contract. You know, um, don't make her feel. Don't make no talent feel like they not wanted in the company, or that they're doing something wrong. Anthem Sports Entertainment give Impact unlimited resources to re-sign Tasha Steeles. For some reason, Nate Frost went out her contract, and she was injured. I don't know what kind of relationship y'all had going on in that area, but y'all had a homegrown Charlotte Flair, possibly better, in my view. But yeah, don't lose no talent because this is a do or die moment in wrestling history for every wrestling company. Okay, you can't lose nobody in this game. AEW then came into the scene and the game then changed. So Impact needs to get with the program. Anthem Sports Entertainment give Impact unlimited resources to sign any major top talent that when their contract is over in WWE or AEW, like I said before, have that pen ready with a big money deal.
Join the baddies. Like, no, she's not. I mean, she might end up over there. Don't get me wrong. She's not going to join that faction. That doesn't fit her at all. But now when you got someone like Kiera moving on, now she's passing the word on to people like Tasha Steele's like, hey, this is what's up over here. Do some dark matches for first few months. Something might open up that you can step into, roll into the main show. I feel like these conversations are happening. But it's a good interview if you're a Kiera Hogan fan, getting a little insight on her. Um, but speaking of interviews, I feel like there was something else I was going to say about oh, let's go ahead and wrap that one up. Speaking of interviews, the Trey Miguel interview on the YouTube channel, it was the new outside the ropes or whatever segment they're doing, and I really praised the interview. I thought they did an excellent job with it. They're putting in that music in the background. I don't understand the obsession with it, but for the most part, it was done really, really well. Super over color corrected and all that shit. All the bad hats were part of the video. At the same time, it was really well done. You go to the YouTube channel now, though, and when I reviewed the interview initially, it had like 8,000 views. It has like 9,000 now. So this thing has not done anything, and it worries me because I feel like the company's going to see that and be like, oh, the people don't want this, and they're going to like pull the plug. And it's not that the people don't want it, but you guys know I've been preaching for a long time for original content, and the original content is going to be hit or miss. There's some of it that's going to do really well and some that's not.
Mm-hmm.
I say it all the time. For whatever reason, Impact fans don't want to hear from Impact stars. They don't want to hear them interviewed. And that's a lot of the reason I haven't pushed to bring interviews back.
That's not true. Yes, Impact fans love to hear from them, just like WWE fans love to hear from they stars in the company and AEW. Lewis Carson always interviews people, and Lewis Carson branched out from the Impact Lounge to promote his channel, the Alliance Pro Network. Subscribe to his channel. He has interviewed Moose. He has interviewed Jordan Grace. I mean, he has interviewed a handful of Impact talent, and the fans do want to hear from the stars because that's how you build the fan base of the company. You get these interviews out there, people know who they are, you know, on different podcasts or shows, and they grow up. But yeah, I disagree on that.
To the channel because for some reason the Impact audience does not care to hear from the wrestlers. They prefer to hear from guys like myself, TW, the TNI guys, the talking nonsense about Impact guys. They want to hear those opinions. They don't want to hear from the stars. So an interview segment probably isn't going to do the best numbers, but it's a start. But my concern is they're going to look at those numbers and be like, okay, that's not what they want, and double down on what they think people do want. The thing is, they've conditioned the audience on YouTube to subscribe to AJ Styles and to the Christopher Daniels stuff and all these guys that aren't here anymore. They've conditioned that people say subscribe to Impact Plus for the library. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to post all these old clips. I always call them empty subscribers, right? That's what I refer to them as because you're getting them to hit that subscribe button. But for what? What are they going to do? Because when you actually start promoting your real product, they're not going to care because that's not what you're bringing them in with. And I think this was an example of the subscriber base, which is what, over like 4 million now or something like that, being conditioned to say we only care about this.
Yes, YouTube, they subscriber base is getting up there. They got more subscribers than AEW's YouTube channel, and that's a fact. Um, and rightly so, because Impact has been around for 20 years. It was TNA Impact, and it's now at sitting at 4.43 million subscribers. And I got Impact's YouTube channel in the description. Go subscribe, and they show classic TNA matches, new classic Impact matches of the new talent. Um, but yeah, rightly so. I mean, YouTube is a global, worldwide platform, and they're doing real good on YouTube. But at least if their YouTube page got that many subscribers, almost 5 million, they need to be pulling in 1 or 2 million in viewership. Access TV can be reached, and I'm gonna say it again, can be reached in 50 million homes in North America. 50 million people can get Access TV. This show on Thursday night should be at least pulling in 1 or 2 million. I don't care if Thursday night football or whatever the crap come on. DVR that. Watch Impact Wrestling live, cause it ain't nothing like watching the show live than just watching a recording. You want to get the experience, just like if you was there at a live Impact main event. That's nothing live. That's nothing like watching a show live than at the Pacific time and at that Pacific day. That being said, yeah, Impact um should be putting in at least 1 or 2 million viewership. People can get Impact Wrestling and not even know it. That's why some people, millennials especially, first generation and second generation, we are lazy and we like to DVR things and watch it for later because we're so-called busy. But if you couldn't have time to watch Monday Night Raw and you're a wrestling fan, you got some kids, show them what Impact Wrestling is. Okay, if you need them watch a 3 hour Raw, which Raw is far more, it might be terrible. You can sit them down and watch Impact Wrestling. Because basically all the major companies right now is at a standstill with creativity and entertainment. They just throwing anything together because it's the summertime. But trust me, when the fall get here, yeah, businesses should be start picking up. And Impact, if they don't make some changes right now before the fall season come, they're gonna be left in the dust.
Channel when we get to watch freaking Slammiversary from 2012 or whatever old match. So that's what I've been challenging them all these years that I've been doing this. Original content, give people, because you have to start conditioning them to care about what's going on right now, the wrestlers that are on screen right now. So kind of disappointed to see that, but I hope it keeps going because I thought it was good. I thought it was a good segment. So let's talk Impact. Let's get into Impact. Do I have anything else? When I said I had a point about Kira, I was transitioning into something else, falling into that sweet spot for Impact right now. And this kind of has to do with where we saw Alan Angels on the show. I feel like we're falling into a sweet spot because now Tony Khan is he's not releasing people, he's not renewing their contracts, or he's offering them per night basis, and they don't really want to do that.
And this is a good opportunity. Impact. Pick up some of these people from AEW, okay? If Tony Khan is doing this, this is a golden opportunity. Anthem Sports Entertainment, give Impact unlimited amounts of money, and so they can pay these top talented people that's not going for uh these contracts ending at AEW, whatever they doing over there. I wouldn't blame nobody from leaving anyway. They like WWE on steroids 2.0. But yeah, this is a golden opportunity, Anthem Sports Entertainment. Don't bro it, okay? Give Impact unlimited amounts of money to sign these top talent, whoever they may be, coming from that side.
Which one has to imagine why would you turn that down? That's probably the best, the better paying wrestling job you're going to find out there. But maybe it's something about I don't like showing up to TV every single week to do nothing. You know,
Hmm.
like an Impact taping is once a month. AEW is like once a week, sometimes twice a week. But I think they're falling into
And he made a good point, and stopping him to respond to this. Yes, because they're working in a company like WWE. You know, AEW is like WWE. They'll get overwork and they'll get injured. Now, mind you, yes, some talented in Impact Wrestling, some of their top talent does get injured or working while an injury is going on and they're doing the storyline. Yes, but not as much as AEW or WWE. You know, because they have a good schedule. They don't work as much. Um, they get to rest their body because this is a sport, and sometimes your body does get wore out, and especially certain superstars ages, they like in their 30s, 40s, 20s, whatever. It can take a toll on you. But yeah, I agree with him on that. Um, Impact is the place to be. This used to be TNA Impact. They've been around for 20 years. It's time to get them back in some big arenas. It's time for Anthem Sports Entertainment to release unlimited amounts of resources so they can sign some top big talent. Because this is a golden opportunity that just opened up this summer. Again, lightning has just struck for a third time. And it's time for Impact to sign some major talent.
a sweet spot because these wrestlers who get released from WWE, their first option is to take a step down and to okay, well, I want to go to AEW. The wrestlers who are getting released from AEW, I don't think have that same option. They can't be like, well, okay, well, I guess I'm going to NXT now because NXT isn't pulling anybody from AEW. They're not pulling people from the indies.
Not the bash NXT 2.0, but that's a developmental show within WWE. Who in a right mind would want to go from a major company to a developmental show? Make that make sense. Impact Wrestling can get on TV. They're owned by Anthem, mind you. They're trying to get into bigger arenas, and I applaud them for that. But Anthem needs to give Impact unlimited amounts of resources, like when they first purchased them. Impact Wrestling was in a big arena. It sounded good. It looked good. Had a six-sided ring. They need to bring that back, hopefully. Um, the six-sided ring defined who they was. They was different. They was unique. They were Impact Wrestling. They were TNA Impact Wrestling. You know, they don't have to go back to TNA Impact, but at least get into some big arenas, change the ring back to a six-sided ring because we don't know what these new talent can do inside of a six-sided ring. Can you imagine Rick Swan, what he can do, or Tennille Dashwood, or Masha Sramagridge inside of a ring? The possibilities. Moose has been inside a six-sided ring, so we know what he can do. But yeah, uh, nobody shouldn't be should be saying they want to go to a developmental show because that's a major company. That doesn't make sense. Why would you want to step down and go through a developmental section of WWE, then go to the main roster and then get your character changed or tweaked, or because most of the time WWE ain't gonna let you use the same character. I was surprised. Everybody was very surprised that they didn't change Cody Rhodes' character, and he's been using that character since he was in Impact and AEW. But yeah, they should. Impact Wrestling is a major company, and Anthem needs to give them unlimited amount of resources to prove everybody wrong. When they first purchased him, like I said in 2017, it didn't look like this. I don't know what happened in 2018, 2019. The pandemic, I can understand that. Everybody was suffering. But now, this is a do or die moment. Impact, step it up.
I believe they are opening things up to indies again right now, but they're signing the cheerleaders and the high school players and the rugby players and grab ass players.
I'm going to say this again. Impact Wrestling is a major company. Signing these indie people, these indie wrestlers, is doing nothing. Nothing at all. You need major talent. I know all the major talent that are currently locked down in AEW and WWE, but as BQ was speaking earlier, some of that talent wants out their contracts and AEW ain't going for it. And whoever is a major talent that wants out, get that pen ready, Anthem. Give Impact unlimited amounts of resources to pay these top talented people what they work. Signing indie people is not. Nobody don't know them. They don't know who they are. Okay, so you need top talent to make big bucks to get a return revenue. That's all I'm saying.
Whatever it is. So the wrestlers getting released from that company or not being brought back, there's an opportunity because these guys are still coming from what's really, to be real, the hottest wrestling company right now, is in terms of many things. Whether you enjoy it or not, it's the hottest product at the moment. That's who you want to get guys from.
And the reason why that is, like I said before, Impact. How in the heck before the pandemic would you let a beginner wrestling company come along and just pass you up? If this was in 2017 and 2016 and 2015 and AEW would have came around then, yeah, Impact could compete with them because they had top talented people. They had the Hardy Boys, they had Bobby Lashley, they had Drew McIntyre, they had Johnny Impact. Yeah, they could compete with them back then. They was in big arenas. They had a six-sided ring. They was unique. Yeah, but it seems like AEW seeing what was happening in the mind you, Tony Khan was a fan of TNA Impact because if he wasn't, he would never stole the interest tunnels. TNA Impact did that, okay? AEW did not start that. They got it from TNA Impact, okay? And if that's the case, they would never did that. And they looked at the field. They said, let's see. The only major wrestling company is okay. WWE is number one. Let's see. Impact is number two, and then they looked at the years passing by. Anthem first bought Impact Wrestling. They was doing good. They was doing great. 2018, still great. 2019, that was their opportunity to launch in the fall of 2019, and that was crazy because they knew that Impact Wrestling had went from nice big arenas to sounding good to low budget arenas, and I was saying like, why Anthem? What the world? Okay. Um. Then 2019, the pandemic hit. That was a big opportunity for them to, sign some people. Yeah, they signed some people. But they let AEW gobble up all the top talent. Okay. They could have signed Daniel Bryanson. Anthem could have gave them unlimited amounts of resources to sign him. Unlimited amounts of resources to sign a lot of people they got released from WWE the second time around. But this time, Anthem Sports Entertainment needs to get real. Give them unlimited amounts of resources. Anthem, if you give Impact unlimited amounts of resources, you will not regret it. You won't regret that decision because you're getting the return revenue. You're getting more fans in arenas, which lead to bigger arenas, which means you can hire professional, great production teams to make the show sound good, which means it would look good. It would catch people's eyes. Viewership would go up to at least 1 or 2 million. No, I'm not beating a dead horse. I'm just telling it like it is. I'm not giving up on this company. I refuse to let them end up like RH or currently NWA, which NWA, in my view, is going to be the next company to sell to somebody, either AEW or WWE. And I refuse to let 20 years of Impact Wrestling be wasted.
And even if it's some of those lower card, mid card guys, whatever, like you're having, it's an opportunity to start bringing some of those guys along. Maybe they bring a viewer with them here or two. Who knows? But I think they're in that sweet spot where it was what they try to come what they tried to start with the WWE releases, the Black Monday releases, and the Slammiversary,
Mm-hmm.
and then now they couldn't do that again this year. I think they can work around things to do something very very similar with the AEW releases. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to talk about AEW release Allen Angels here in a second. BTI was the first part of the show. I didn't watch it. I never do. Never, never, never.
I don't even watch BTI. My favorite thing on BTI, I mean, because it's like a highlight of the previous week of the show anyway, and they show one main match. Basically, they do Impact doing like Sunday Night Heat and Velocity used to do. They used to highlight shows from the previous week, and then they'll show one match or two, and that's it. But my favorite thing on BTI is Iceman. You already know, because I like to see who made if someone major is coming to the company or whatever. I always be looking for him because he's like the main source. But um, that that Impact can like get to news out there to see who's gonna show up or who coming or what's happening with the show. But other than that, um, I don't know nothing about Alan Angels. He's doing, yeah, he's a talented person, but he's not a major talent. Okay, that's like they're getting a AEW homegrown talent. It's doing nothing for them. I mean, you know, the other guy's probably talented. Some people like him. You know, I don't know much about him, but yeah, they need to sign major talent when that time comes available. Anthem Sports Entertainment, get the checkbook ready to sign. Pay these top talented people what they worth like you used to do. Anthem didn't own Impact Wrestling a long time ago when it was TNA Impact, so they don't know that when TNA Impact was getting all these top talented people. They was paying them what they was worth. Impact Anthem give Impact unlimited amounts of money to sign these big top talent that's gonna bring you in more revenue than what you're getting. That's how you promote. That's how you get the name out there. Then you could advertise for commercials, doing uh, other wrestling shows that be coming on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Saturday, Sunday. You can advertise on ESPN. You're getting a return revenue if you do that. Give them limited amounts of resources.
I did mean to watch this one. I just forgot because it was Giselle versus Alicia. I wanted to watch it. Giselle, we already knew she was going to win. And it's weird because every time they have some kind of story with Alicia where she's not Eddie's wife, or she has a teammate or a friend or something, it lasts like 2 weeks, and then she goes back to exactly what she was doing before, which was jack shit. So maybe they bring her back to the Honor No More stuff, and she goes back.
The thing about Alicia Edwards, Eddie Edwards' wife, it's like they're not even trying with the girl. I mean, mind you, she is talented. And during the pandemic and coming out the pandemic, I thought she would turn by now, turn to a heel. I think, in my view, she would make a great heel. She needs to go in. They need to just do a turn because she could be the replacement of PCO because it's coming. They're gonna turn on PCO, and with the Heat thing, they're gonna probably bring PCO for Heat taking out all the members and pinning them one by one, probably. And that's when Anisha Edwards comes in, and maybe uh, low balls, PCO, and then the beatdown begins, and Anisha Edwards is standing side by side with Maria. She's not the only female, the first lady of Honor No More. She'll be like the second lady of Honor No More, and it'll be interesting. But yeah, it's something needs to give with her. They need to turn her heel.
To being Eddie's wife. Very, very possible. I know she is Eddie's wife, but you know what I mean. Storyline wise, that's just the crutch. All right, so opening show for Impact here, or opening match, I should say, Allen Angels versus Speedball Mike Bailey. I said on the last Cool Factor, I said the guy answering the open challenge is one of my favorite wrestlers. And you'd probably be like, okay, yeah, right. Allen Angels is not one of your favorite wrestlers. The his faction that he was in, the Dark Order, was I was a borderline fanatic of that group. So that kind of tells you why I was, he was probably my second favorite guy in the group, but I was a fanatic of the group. I really was. I have all the freaking shirts. Um, I loved everything about them. I love the way they were just with, it's a faction of 7, 8 people. They were, they would have some honorary members that would kind of show up, like Ty Conti and things like that. That would intertwine with each other and team with each other's partners. And
Let me tell you what the heck happened. WWE seen that faction over in AEW, and look what and guess what these fools did during the pandemic. These fools invented the exact same faction, same gimmick, same everything. They come out of nowhere, they beat people up, and it was called Retribution. And Mia Yim was part of that faction. During the pandemic, she was signed to WWE, and it was like these renegades, rogue NXT people broke out of NXT and went to the main roster and just started beating up. But then after a while it got stale and they fell, you know. Because every time WWE try to do something another company does, like Impact with the Broken Hearted gimmick, or AEW, for example, with the Dark Order, it always end up messy and it ain't pretty. So, yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
just I really liked them from top to bottom. Brody Lee died though, and they became this like weird. PG version of Sesame Street. Like they freaking sucked, and it was this faction that I was like crazy about to just freaking trash. And they've started releasing some of those guys, but Alan Angels was part of them. He was nicknamed Number Five, and he kind of had a little goofy mask. He would team up with Number 10, and that was my team right there. Those two together, I really really liked. But he was a guy I really really pulled for and pushed. Not pushed, but yeah, just someone I pulled for, someone I really really rooted for. I got a cameo from him once before, and I was excited when he came out. Now he had this match with Mike Bailey. I thought it was okay. It wasn't super fluid. It was a little clunky. It was a little paint by numbers in some parts, like the finish where he was waiting for Mike Bailey in the turnbuckle, which seemed like an eternity. Stuff like that. It was a little hokey. But I will say he got the biggest pop or any kind of ovation of the night. Even the commentaries like, wow, listen to that ovation. They called it an ovation in a room full of 200 people. But they were loud for him. That's where he's from. He never got any real opportunity in AEW. He was part of the Dark Order, but like when they did the Brody Lee tribute night, he was the only guy who didn't wrestle. They put him on the main event of Dark the next night as like and he won the main event. So that was like, hey, we're giving you your shine too. But he never really got that opportunity. He had a couple of really good matches with Kenny Omega and then a really good one with Bryan Danielson. But everything else he did was kind of like job shit. The Dark Order didn't beat a whole lot of people. Him and Ten didn't beat a whole lot of people as a tag team. He showed a lot of flash, a lot of brilliance, a lot of promise, but he didn't win a lot of matches. So him to have this match with Mike Bailey, I think was really important to him because it was a competitive match. He didn't have many competitive ones over there. He wrestled, but they weren't competitive. So I think with a guy like that, that's where he's like, I don't want to come back and do per night stuff because I'm not going to win. I'm showing up every week. A company like Impact could work for him because he could be fairly featured within the next division. Do I think he's going to be back? I think so, but I don't think he's going to be signed. I can see him do the rest of the loop.
I mean, like he said, he will only fit in the X division of Impact Wrestling. As far as I'm concerned, he's not a major talent, so in my view, I don't think Anthem Sports Entertainment should waste their time signing someone that's. I mean, yeah, he had a good ovation. I mean, it was his hometown where he was from, but still, you need top talented people that's gonna open people's eyes back up to Impact. More podcasts can cover Impact because right now, where I'm looking at, only let's see this one, the Impact Lounge, Lewis Carlson, Alliance Pro Network, Insiders, Frightful, like 5 or 6 people can cover these guys. That's why hundreds turn into thousands, thousands turn to millions, and that's how you get Impact name out and they blow up again.
What worried me a little bit about this match is that Mike Bailey kicked out of his two best moves. The wing snapper, which is his finisher. He kicked out of his freaking finisher in his first match wrestling on Impact. Hits his finisher, middle of the ring. Mike Bailey kicks out, and that's where he held his arms behind him and then put a foot in the middle of his back and fell backwards, kind of like eat defeat. And then he has the angel breaker. But he kicked out of his best moves. So it's hard to be like, okay, yeah, he's going to come back and start beating people with his finishers. I don't know. I would love to see him in the company because, like I said, he's one of my favorites. I learned to really pull for him over the years. I would love to see him. They did a post-match angle with the Deaners. I'm sorry, not the Deaners, but Diener and Joe Doring. I thought this made Mike Bailey and Alan Angels look like freaking fools. Because one of the guys is the X Division champion. These two jabrones come down take them out, and we don't see or hear from them again. I don't know if they rolled out of the ring and just laid there, but I thought they were made to look like fools. And being that one of them is the X Division champion, and he's not even getting his come in, go in the backstage, like, hey, I challenge Diener next week, to where something logical to make it. Your champion just got his ass whooped, and then we don't hear from him the rest of the show. So I didn't particularly care for that. I do
If something like that happened, maybe it's a possibility we may be getting it Allen Angels teaming up with Mike Bainey for a tag team match. Possibility. Because Impact tends to lean in that way. So, you never know. Could be a tag team match this Thursday, tomorrow on Access TV at 8, 7 Central. Check y'all local listings.
kind of commend them for starting the show off a little quicker this time, because they went, fairly quickly into Alan Angel's his entrance. I would have kicked the show off with Alan Angel's entrance. I would have not, no, we own the night, no slow mo, C4 spike, all that crap they like to show, because it's still fluff for 2.5, 3 minutes. And I've been pointing out before, AEW starts their show.
Impact Wrestling. Change that freaking theme song, okay? You've been having We Own the Light since freaking 2019 when I first came back onto you guys and watching you guys. You guys don't need to be playing We Own the Light theme song, okay? Fix that.
45 seconds. And that's, if you don't think that's by design, you're wrong. By design. It is by design. That is looking at the numbers, looking at the analytics, listening to people who know what they're talking about, but we have to start the show off here. We cannot afford to lose viewers. So if it was me, I would have kicked it off with Alan Angels. Boom. And then you could tweet out, tune in right now, Alan Angels, whatever. And even if you want to throw in freaking We Own the Night after his entrance so that you give people a chance to tune in, whatever, you know what I mean? But not so much fluff in the beginning. But they kicked it off a little quicker than usual. But this post match, Diener on the mic, the minute Mike said this on Brace for Impact. Also, the minute he's just like Josh Alexander, it's like, oh my god, again. He beat all three of them.
Now, mind you, everybody is doing their own storylines, okay? I know BQ and the rest of the fans. This is what every company is doing right now, okay? They're doing Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns again, for crying out loud, okay? So I don't know why everybody want to pick on Impact Wrestling. They've been on for 20 years, and the other companies are doing the exact same thing with making these same matches. That being said, um, there's not much talent out there that they can sign. They do they do not want to sign no more indie. They don't want to do not sign no indie talent. That would do nothing for Impact. Josh Alexander would just beat any indie talent. Okay. Um, they like I said, AEW's opportunity is opening up, and some top talented people ain't happy. They're gonna have to sign some top talented people to challenge Josh Alexander for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Or if WWE opportunity comes up, which they got two female free agents, Sasha Banks and possibly Naomi, she wants out of her contract deal. Um, Anthem give Impact unlimited amounts of resources, so they can sign these top talented people to pay them what they worth.
All three of them. There's no reason whatsoever for them to call him out. You cannot beat him. You tried. You tried 3 times, three different people. You can't do
Be
it.
right back. sorry about that. Sorry about the long wait. I know that was a long wait, yeah. Um, uh, yeah. Let's get back into this.
And if it was just to get Eric Young out there, okay, cool. But we're getting this again next week. Josh and the Motor City Machine Guns against Violent by Design. I don't care. Now we got three of the best wrestlers in the world on one side, but I don't care. I've seen this 50 times this year. I don't care.
See, now BQ is complaining. Give it the program, dude, and they would win. Because WWE, Raw, WWE SmackDown, NXT, maybe they get a little bit different matches, but the main roster, like WWE Raw and WWE SmackDown and AEW, they show the exact same matches. You don't get nothing new. I guess because it's like a summer lack of summer creativity with the storylines or whatever, and I don't know why AEW and WWE is using the same people with the same matches. But some of the matches is the same over there too. You got Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar again, and hopefully someone is gonna drop the title, Brock or Roman Reigns, and possibly Austin Theory will cash in um if Dolph Ziggler doesn't stay in the picture because they didn't bring him into the picture and he didn't turn into a face because he was a heel and he didn't change into a face again. So I don't know what the heck they doing with him and Austin Theory, but I guess they're gonna probably hold off on Austin Theory cashing in. Whoever wins the title uh, at the next pay per view for Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, and I think Roman's dropping the title because the Roman Reigns head of the table has run his course, and people want a fresh champion, even if it's Brock Lesnar for a while. They want someone new because Roman Reigns has run through the whole roster, legends and upcoming stars. So give it the program, BQ, because BQ, my fault. BQ, give it the program because every wrestling company is doing the same thing like Impact is doing. So, yeah,
Eric Young came out though and said, "How did we get here?" Saying the world belongs to me. Almost like he's teasing something going on with Violent by Design. I don't know. I don't know what more Violent by Design can do at this point, but I think you handle them right creatively, they can take the next step one way or another because they're involved in some big matches recently. Can't just take them back down to the same stuff where backstage Eric Young cutting his promo saying the same thing every time. Like now you got to take the next step with these guys.
yeah,
But once you call out Josh Alexander, here we freaking go. The Eric Young stuff was okay, but it was good that we saw him back on the screen. I didn't think at the expense of Mike Bailey was necessary, and even at the expense of Alan Angels. Like, why is he going to want to come back? AEW does post match beatdowns 70% of the time. You don't believe me? Watch a freaking show. Alan Angels has his ass whooped several times after the bell, and then we're bringing him in to just do the same exact thing. Not really into it, but yeah, the Diener stuff. Ugh, I keep calling the Diener. I keep wanting to call them the Dieners. Um, the show as a whole, though, this was one of the best wrestling shows in a long time. And when I say wrestling, I mean actual wrestling, the actual matches on the show from top to bottom. This was one of their better episodes
hmm
in a while. As a whole, with the creative and all that, I don't know. There's nothing pulling me in right now, storyline wise, and it's wild because 3 months ago we had I don't know more. We had the Moose stuff. Him.
like I said before, I mean it's summertime. Give them credit because AEW and WWE is in the same position, with lack of creativity. And until someone is released or wants out of a contract with WWE or AEW, we're gonna get what we get. That being said, I mean it's a decent show, but like I said, Anthem Sports Entertainment. The minute someone is released, and right now it's two, possibly two. Well, I know Sasha Banks is officially is done with WWE because she didn't have it with the company. Even though her cousin Snoop Dogg is in the WWE Hall of Fame, but that's not here said. Um, she wants to go to a place where she can have free career reign. She could be her own self, and if she does, if Anthem gives Impact Wrestling the resources like they used to back in the day to sign a top talent like Sasha Banks, they're gonna get a lot of return revenue in the process. Because I guarantee you, Sasha Banks fans would definitely show up at live events that Impact puts on, their pay-per-views, and there's gonna be a lot of revenue coming in. So Anthem will be able to move them back into big arenas, like when they first purchased them in 2017. They need to get back in big arenas. They need to change the ring back to the six-sided ring when they first purchased the company. It needs to look and sound good. Because when you have Sasha Banks and possibly Naomi coming in the picture, you're gonna get a lot of revenue in return, and that's just the beginning. That's gonna open more doors for possibly other top talent to. Let me take a look at Impact, what they doing over here with this person, because every uh, wrestler is friends with each other in this industry, and they'll just spread the word about Impact. But how much money they paying, they treating them good, they letting them have free career reign, they getting them a fat paycheck, you know. Anthem, give them the resources.
Him spearing Josh's wife. We had the Bullet Club stuff, which was kind of interesting at one point. And then all of a sudden, you fast forward to now, like, what is truly compelling on the show from a storyline standpoint? Not a whole lot, but the wrestling is good. The wrestling is excellent. But
Hmm.
as a wrestling show, this was good. This really was.
It can't just be good; it needs to be great. Impact Wrestling, Anthem Sports Entertainment. Yeah, just give them the resources. Let them sign some top talent. Because right now, the Knockouts division, they get Sasha Banks. And Sasha Banks, if she signs to Impact, she's gonna be going by Mercedes and whatever Naomi real name is. Um, she's gonna be going by that because WWE owns their WWE names. That being said, they're gonna pull in a lot of revenue for Anthem Sports Entertainment and Impact Wrestling to move them into bigger arenas. Change that ring back to the six-sided ring. You lean on the TNA things so much. Why not? Change that ring from square to six, because that is what defines Impact Wrestling. That six-sided ring. They make they when they have that six-sided ring, they like a unique, one of a kind wrestling company.
Was good. So let's see. After that, I'm sorry. Usually, I'm used to TW going, running down the show. Honor No More cuts a promo in the back. I liked it. I thought it was
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, it was a good promo. That's for sure.
With that being said, though, what is this guy's mission? Like, what is the point now? You've lost at the pay per view at the Impact.
That is a good point. Like, take for example the Bloodline with Roman Reigns and the Usos. They rarely lose matches. They always make them look strong. I don't know why Impact make when they make a stable, they're on the roll, but then they lose. Impact, when you had Main Event Mafia, when you had Fortune, when it was TNA Impact, they would be rarely losing. Anthem, go back. I know you own Impact Wrestling now. Anthem Sports Entertainment. Go back to the archives and look at all the stables. that was in the company and what matches and how creative had them do what they did. They was strong. They was rarely losing. And this is like a big time pay per view. But other than that, they was dominant. So Anthem, when they create a stable, they need to keep the momentum for each stable until one day on the other side of the company, the stable runs into people. After the other one, they'll run into each other. Like three or two stables will run into each other. And yeah, but I see why they make the stables look weak because the roster's so thin. It's not enough people to run through. And until AEW or WWE top talent contract ends or someone actually released for either company, we have this. But Anthem Sports Entertainment, get your pocketbook ready because someone is going to get released or someone is going to want out of their contract in WWE or AEW.
Impact Plus show. You lose every week on television. And why are they after PCO? PCO is the only one who wins out of that group.
I talked about PCO earlier. I said that Alicia Edwards is going to be PCO's replacement after he has run through the whole stable of Ring of Honor. I mean, Honor No More, guys. They're gonna say like, "This is your fault. We lost. This is your fault that we took got taken out one by one." They're gonna take the frustration out on PCO, and they're gonna have a beatdown. Maybe Alicia Edwards is gonna come out and cut a promo, which would be excellent, and she's gonna pretend people gonna be thinking like she's taking up for PCO, but in reality, she's gonna backstab him and probably do like I guess a JR move or a Linda McMahon move. No, Linda McMahon move when she low broke JR, and then Lisa Edwards is gonna be laughing. Then that's when the beatdown gonna occur, and then PCO changes into a heel, and then the rivalry between Eddie Edwards and PCO begins because Eddie Edwards is mad at PCO because he's been getting all the attention from the Honor No More guys because every match that PCO has had, even though he's a heel, a so-called heel, um, the fans chant him, and Eddie Edwards is gonna be mad about that. So be watching. It's gonna be getting interesting.
Eddie doesn't wrestle a whole lot as a part of Honor No More, but he does not have a winning record. I think as a one-on-one guy, he might be like 1-1. We don't see him wrestle one-on-one very much.
Yeah, because
And
he's the
then
leader
part of
of
the
Honor No More. He's really losing.
tag team matches, I mean, PC.
Yeah, Eddie Edwards is like the leader of Honor No More. When he joined, and they rarely like you rarely would have the leader losing in matches or taking a pin. So they want to make the leader of a stable look strong, you know. But yeah,
PCO's the only person who wins matches. He's the only one who beats people. Why are they mad at him? Like his losing is causing them to to fall apart. Like Kenny King doesn't beat anybody.
and Tina King got history with TNA Impact with Impact Wrestling. He was in the uh the Beatdown Clan, the BDC with Bobby Lashley and MVP. He has history with the company, so they should make him look strong because he's like a homegrown Impact original that he came into the company like in like 2013, 2014 when MVP came in and they formed that stable together. And they should have been having him look strong. He shouldn't been taking no pain or losing whatsoever. Um, so um, yeah, like I said, PCO. I mean BQ, TW, Impact Lounge, all the people that cover Impact Wrestling, Lewis Carson of the Alliance Pro Network and the Insider Pro Wrestling Network, be on the lookout for that storyline because mark my words, some kind of way that storyline is going to happen, even if it happened in a different manner than what I'm discussing.
Taven and Bennett, none of them do. Yeah, they have a few wins here or there, but I mean, come on, as a whole, they've been kind of been presented as losers. This storyline is taking so long, and I know if I say something like that, someone's always like, "Oh, long-term booking." I hate when that's the answer to something dragging out, or long-term storytelling. That's what it is. No, long-term storytelling is something that is something they do that's compelling to where
And I get it. Um, it's overkill with the company having the same matches, having the same feuds. But let the story progress, and trust me, since it's limited options that they can do with certain people, certain talent, you get what you get right now until the fall, until somehow a golden opportunity opens up, like someone gets released or once out of contract with WWE or AEW, like I said before, and they can sign more people and create more rivalries, more feuds. Anthem just have to give Impact Wrestling the resources, unlimited resources, to pay these top talent what they worth, to get more butts and seats, because they are getting a return revenue when they sign top talent like they used to.
it takes a couple turns, it comes around, no one sees it coming, and it makes a lot of sense. You know, like when Tessa Blanchard won the world title, that's not long-term storytelling, even though she was beating all the guys for a year, because everyone knew exactly where it was going. There was no, there was no surprise about it.
It seems to me like they created Tessa Branch into like trying to make her another China. It will never be another China. You can never replace her. Putting the main title on her, yeah, that's never been done before in no other company. China only had a mid-core title. They never, even though she could hang with the males, they never put the WWE title around her waist. So that time period was just wasted for Impact, and that's a stain that they had to live for a while. I mean, yeah, it's starting to clear up, but that was only 2 years ago, and I hope they don't do nothing like that ever again. The women should stay in the women's division, and the men should stay in the males division. Now, mind you, they did put Eric Young, which I guess, in my view, killed the Knockouts Tag Team titles. They had him team up with ODB and had him capture a female tag. Now that's what ruined they and they was the first company. Impact Wrestling, TNA Impact is the first company to actually create women's tag team title belts. That's why all the other wrestling companies followed in their footsteps. But yeah, they should never put a main title that's for a male around a woman's waist ever again.
We knew exactly what they were doing. That's not freaking storytelling. So with Honor No More, clearly there's going to be something happening with PCO. Let's get to it already. Because they're saying the same stuff backstage, kind of like the way Violent by Design was. They're just saying the same stuff.
Tell me about it.
What's the mission at this point? Because you haven't carried out any of it. Everyone's beat you that you're supposed to be taken down. They've all beat you. So I don't know, but I still kind of find Honor No More cool. Like I'm still kind of intrigued in them just because I keep thinking they're going to do something really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've said before is with Eddie Edwards with his heel turn, I don't think that's done a whole lot for him. We should
Sure
have been
hasn't.
turning on. I've said this 2 or 3 times. We should have been turning on the TV every week. Like, what's Eddie Edwards going to do today? They had a real. I would say we thought that back when he got his eye messed up by Sammy and his character started changing. People were kind of along for the ride. Like, where's this going? And then once they're like, oh, he's turning into Tommy Dreamer 2.0, then people are like, I don't really care anymore. But there was intrigue at first. And that's what I felt with him now. But yeah, his colors change and his music change, but it's like kind of the same wrestling outfit. It's the same mannerisms when he comes down. Now the promos are better. You know, he's not completely lost, but I just feel like there was a lot more juice to squeeze out of it, and it's just we're just not getting that. Gail Kim was backstage with Deanna and Chelsea, and this was an episode we didn't get Scott Demore on. Oh my effing god! He's finally not. Josh.
I got a reply to that. No response. Scott Demore has not been on camera backstage in a couple of weeks, so that's a good thing. Not that I know of. And I watch Impact every Thursday. I haven't really seen him in a couple of weeks since Ramiversary. I may be mistaken. Y'all could correct me in the comments. But yeah, it's supposed to be like that. You ain't supposed to have the boss on TV 24/7. It should be like a rare occasion, like something is happening or invasion is coming or something like that. But other than that, the boss is just supposed to be backstage, directing, producing, doing whatever. I like the fact that they now starting to put Gail Kim in the spotlight, so that's a good thing. You know, it's eye candy. That that goes to show you that they want people to say, okay, Gail Kim is still with the company. I didn't know that. I'm gonna tune in and see what she makes next, what match she makes next, what she does next. Yeah.
Pulling that shit. But we get Gail, which we would rather see Gail.
Hmm.
But what I didn't like about the segment was that she sounded like she was trying to be Scott Demore. Like she was trying to have that like wisecracky joke style. It was exactly. It's almost
Um, maybe so, but I disagree with him on that. I don't think she wants to try to be like another person. She just trying to be like her own self. It just come out. Maybe because he is the producer, executive producer of the show, and he directs, the show. Maybe he told her what to say. But other than that, she wasn't really trying to be like the guy. She just trying to be like herself. It just came out like she was saying everything like he would do or say. But yeah.
like he took or she took Scott's segment, like his script, like he was originally penned in. Oh my gosh, I'm stumbling all over myself. Originally penciled in for it, and I said, "Hey, I can't make it. Can you do it? Just read this." That's kind of what I felt. So I hope that's not where they're going with it. Like I like her just being Gail. Trey Miguel had a match with Laredo Kid. Now there's one theme about the matches on the show. We knew who was going to win every single match. There was no intrigue. No, my curiosity was not piqued. I wonder how this is going to go. We knew who was going to win every single match because it featured many people who don't beat anybody. That being said, excellent match, better than Speedball and Allen Angels. Really, really good match. Laredo Kid couldn't beat a fly. He couldn't beat a fly with a fly swatter. He couldn't beat a dead man with a bat. I mean, he goes in these matches and we're like, he is gonna lose.
Speaking of a dead man, The Undertaker. That's what you're trying to reference. Yeah. Like I said, right now they only can work what they have right now until opportunity opens up for them, a golden opportunity from WWE or AEW, and it can sign some top talent. Anthem can give Impact Wrestling the resources to sign some major talent to put a lot of butts in seats because hundreds turn into thousands, thousands turn into millions. Impact is not gonna go nowhere and go back up to the top like when Anthem first purchased them in 2017. And as we speak out, more of us have to speak out, make videos, uh, reply to podcasts, and say, "Oh no, you're wrong," or "Yeah, you're right." Just be in the middle, moderate.
He goes. He has all these. near falls and roll ups, and he's always has this look of shock on his face. Like, I can't believe I didn't pull that off. Like, well, you haven't pulled it off. You have one win over John Skyler, and that's it. I think there was one other win because he got like the number one contendership for the X Division Championship, but then they just put someone else in the match and it didn't matter. But as a talent, he's a lot of fun to watch. Impact just doesn't know what to do with luchadors. And luchadors aren't really hot right now. There was a period of time where the AAA stuff was really, really hot. We're not there right
Impact Wrestling is not the only company that doesn't know what to do with luchadors. WWE had for a while the Lucha Brothers. If y'all remember in WWE, they could not do nothing with those guys. Those guys was hot when they first brought them in, but then they started losing matches all the time. So no other wrestling company knows what they doing with the luchadors, the Triple H stuff. That era is like then fade away in my view. You know, people are leaning back to major talent showing up anywhere in this wrestling industry.
now. And apparently, Impact feels the same way because if you wear a mask, you're not beating anybody on this show. But I was entertained with it quite a bit. Trey Miguel was selling the from Against All Odds. That's excellent stuff. That's really excellent stuff. We'll see how that plays into him going forward. Maybe he just sold it for the match to make what happened logical and sensical. But we'll see if it what happens. What's next for Trey Miguel though? Because he's like Ace Austin. You can't just keep. I mean, I said the same thing about Ace Austin. You can't just be like, oh, you're wrestling number one contendership for the X Division Championship. Like Trey Miguel needs to start taking some steps forward as well. That's where they failed with Jake something. When there was the opportunity for him to take the next step, they didn't do it. You could say that with Rohi Raju as well. When the opportunity was there to take the next step, they did not. They did not do that with him. But yes, X Division implementations, whatever that word is. After this, implications. That's what I was trying to say. They had. I know I feel like I'm pointing out things I didn't like about the show. I like the show. This I didn't like. This Ric Flair moment of the week presented by Starcast. I
I'm gonna reply to this. That was a legendary moment, and I'm not trying to point fingers at BQ. We're gonna all have our opinions on the show, or if they named always on the TNA old legendary moments. And that was a legendary moment when Ric Flair showed up in TNA Impact. New all news was on TNA Impact. Because he's Ric Flair. Okay, that's saying that. It's nothing wrong with it. It goes to show you that it's Impact does that because they want people to know that this is the same company that's been around for 20 years. This is not nothing new. This company been around since 2002 and 20 years strong going. So they want people to recognize who they are because they're not a new wrestling product company. Anthem purchased um, Impact back in 2017 when it sounded good, it looked good. Anthem gave them, I guess, unlimited resources to sign top talent because at the time they had Bobby Lashley, they had Cody Rhodes, they had a lot of talent, top talent before AEW came in the picture. And then when those top talent left and went back to WWE, that's when I guess Impact started going to small arenas and everything else. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with showing the past. I mean, that's a legendary moment. So I disagree with him on that.
thought this was like borderline pathetic. Ric Flair has never had said anything nice about this company. Now we can say guys like Nick Aldis kind of say their shit, you know what I mean? But they acknowledge, hey, with that.
Ric Flair, mind you, we had got a Sting and versus Ric Flair last match in this company. We didn't get in WWE. We sure didn't get in AEW because they just started off like in the fall of 2019. It wasn't around too long. So, um, Ric Flair may not say it out loud, but he praises Impact behind closed doors because they gave him a chance to actually compete again because WWE wanted him gone in 2008 with that last match with Shawn Michaels. They didn't want him to compete in the ring because I guess they didn't want to take the risk because of his age because he's older than Hulk Hogan and Hulk Hogan finally hung it up, but you know. So yeah, so I disagree on that right there because behind the scenes, Ric Flair praises TNA Impact for giving him another shot to compete. You know, when TNA Impact was at the level like AEW or WWE. You know, so I don't think he's mad. I mean, I don't think he's 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 not crapping on Impact because they did give him a chance to wrestle one last time. And he wants to wrestle again, I guess, in what AEW or indie promotion, whatever. But yeah,
Styles, AJ Styles too, but they, at the end of the day, they acknowledge like, hey, I got my start there. I wouldn't be where I am without this. Like Ric Flair,
and that's the thing about TNA Impact. WWE would not have AJ Styles if it was not for TNA Impact, and that is a straight up fact. They wouldn't get the AEW would not be nowhere without Samoa Joe. AEW would not, the stage would not look like the tunnels, how the stars come out the tunnels without Tony Khan watching Impact a long time ago, and seeing how they looked back then. It kind of got like a flavor of TNA slash WCW look, you know. But yeah, a lot of talent that walked through TNA Impact Wrestling, WWE, AEW, they would not have them if it was not for Impact. So you gotta give them their flowers, even though they look like they look because Anthem don't want to give them the resources, but they need to start getting the resources if you're gonna play the wrestling game nowadays. This is a do or die moment.
at one point in time when he first got to TNA, was very grateful. He said, hey, you guys are giving me the opportunity to wrestle again. I didn't think I could wrestle anymore. WWE couldn't told me I couldn't wrestle anymore. So that's kind of what he was saying at the time. But he says some pretty shitty things about the company. And it's like a girl, you know, breaks up with you, not even breaks up with you, someone that you like, and you're just texting them and they never respond, and then they talk shit about you, and you're like, okay, cool. And then 3 months later, you're just like, hey, what's up? Like you just text them again, like I'm just ready to get hurt again. So this was like borderline pathetic for me. What does Ric Flair do on the show? What was his? I know he's Ric Flair. What did he really do for Impact? I mean, he did some fortune stuff.
What he did for Impact, I got a lot. Ric Flair brought in a lot of revenue for this company at this time of era. He had a few rivalries with Sting and Hulk Hogan, and I think Eric Bischoff, but I may be mistaken about that. But the fans followed him because he was Ric Flair. He came from WWE. He came from WCW. He had matches with The Undertaker, which is one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history. Undertaker defeated all of Evolution at WrestleMania. He defeated the whole stable one by one each year. First it was Triple H, then it was Randy Orton, Triple H two times, Uh, I think it was, it was Triple H first, 2001. Let's see, it was Randy Orton in '05, Batista in '07, Triple H in 2011, 2012. They fought back to back that year. But yeah, Ric Flair has some amazing matches in WWE. Why wouldn't they pay tribute to the Nature Boy? He's a two-time Hall of Famer. He's in Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame and he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. I like the Impact Lounge. I like BQ, and what he speaks and what he's talking about and TW. But sometimes they could be harsh when it's not good to be harsh. I don't mean to kiss Impact's behind, but dang, um, give them their flowers because a lot of people walk through that company. That's for sure. And I hope and pray that they're gonna rise back up to the top, like when Anthem Sports Entertainment first bought them. And all they gotta do, all they need is some top talent to be released or one out their contract from WWE or AEW. And from the looks of it, they're gonna start with the women's division because Sasha Banks and Naomi would define the knockouts division. And when they come, change the ring, change the set, because they're gonna bring in more fans, more revenue for Anthem. Like I said before, and that's more revenue for the company, Impact and Anthem. They get a great investment with those two. Starting with the women's division first. And then if any male star gets gets released or wants out their contract in AEW or WWE, sign them. Get that checkbook ready, Anthem.
Stuff, some Jay Lethal stuff. I mean, it wasn't like he was doing nothing, but I mean, what did he do that people are still talking about? This was he probably doesn't even acknowledge that this was part of his career.
I disagree.
So I didn't really care for that. They had Joe
It's my
Doring
opinion.
and
I just
Gina
disagree with what he
backstage after
said.
this, went into Motor
That's
City Machine
that's
Gun.
not true.
Why are we supposed to believe that wrestlers are just hanging out backstage against the wall talking? In this era of cell phones, where we're content with just sitting by ourselves and texting and surfing the internet, we just have wrestlers just standing in the hallway, just leaning up against the wall, conversing because they're bored.
This is what I'm tired of people saying about Impact Wrestling. You don't get no other crap about other companies doing this. And they have superstars hanging around backstage, just sitting around, standing around. WWE, I didn't watch. I still watch Raw and SmackDown sometimes. I see stars that I haven't seen in the ring in months hanging around backstage. I don't watch AEW. I tried to watch it a few times. I just couldn't get into the show because it was like WWE on steroids slash WCW. Couldn't get into it. And plus, when they installed the TNA tunnels when the stars come out to the ring. I can't get invested in the TNA slash WCW slash. It's basically three wrestling companies in one. They got some of TNA look. They got some of WCW look. They got the roster with all the people like WWE. I just can't get into that. That being said, you don't get no nobody, no other podcast. Alliance Pro Network, in which other podcasts, other people that speak out, that want the promotion, the company to get better because they've been around for 20 years. Let's just be real. Give them their flowers for lasting that long. Because people thought that they was out the door. They thought they was gonna be the first company to sell to WWE at one time. Before Anthem bought them, they thought that Vince McMahon was going to buy the company in 2016. There was a rumor going around back then. And it didn't happen. They outlasted RH, Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor sold to AEW. Now they'll probably look at AEW. I don't want that for Impact Wrestling. That's why the next company is going to do it is NWA because that is far worse than Impact Wrestling. Let's just be real. NWA is the reason why TNA Impact was born. Like I said before many times, let's just be serious. That viewership is far worse than Impact Wrestling will ever be. They would not be that low. Yeah, they making 100,000 viewership, you know, which you need to search Access TV on your cable package, people. If 50 million homes can get Access TV. They should be doing at least 1 to 2 million in viewership. You know, search it. The link is in the description. It tells it all. Buy their merchandise. Go to a live event. Build these guys back up to ones they once was. So Anthem can give them the resources, like when they first purchased the company back in 2017, to get into big arenas so it could sound good, and they could possibly, hopefully, go back to the six-sided ring that defined who they was. Because everybody always say, even BQ and TW, what defines Impact Wrestling? Open your eyes. It was that six-sided ring. Okay? That's what defined them. It was unique. It made Impact Wrestling one of a kind. In the words of RVD, a WWE Hall of Famer and an Impact Hall of Famer.
And have nothing else to do. And it's always the person who they just so happen to need to run into is right there. So I didn't care for the back.
Oh yeah, but long story short, I'm gonna cut this short. I'm gonna say one more thing, and I'm gonna cut back to BQ and we get to talk about all the other wrestling companies, AEW, WWE. They have stars hanging around backstage all the time. You freaking have R-Truth backstage, and he don't even be on the show. So cut that out, people, because other companies are doing the same thing. Okay? Because they lack of creativity, lack of storylines. WWE, AEW is doing the same thing.
Backstage stuff, if you could tell with this episode. They ran the Killer Kelly vignette. People should be really excited about this. People really wanted her to join the Knockouts division after she did the Knockouts Tag Team Championship stuff. I think she's got a good name. She's got a good look. People seem to really, really like her. I was not impressed with the wrestling when she had a couple matches on the show. I'm not gonna lie to you on that. Is she a better wrestler than me?
This is on my grade on BQ. I wasn't really invested in the County. I know she came from NXT at one time. I seen a few of her matches when she was hit Willow at one time for, I guess, a short term deal. Well, I guess like 6 months or 2 or 3 months. I mean, she's not a top talent, but they could build her back up to that level like they was doing Lady Frost. They had built Lady Frost up to be one of the, in my view, one of the top knockouts in the division. So maybe Kenny can be that next. They could pair up with Marsha Sramagridge or something. Who knows?
Yes. I'm slow. I'm not mobile. I have weak ankles. So she's a better wrestler than me. But I still, as a fan, didn't really enjoy her matches. I didn't see anything particularly good and special.
I agree. Totally.
But she was in losing predicaments.
During
Now
skipping.
she comes in as a singles wrestler. She's probably going to get a initial push similar to Masha. That's what I think
It's
is
similar
going to happen.
to
That's what
Lady
makes sense.
Frost. It's just be
And then
real.
they might run into each other down the road. Who knows? But
Hopefully she doesn't get
I know
injured like Dave Frost.
people are very excited for Killer Kelly coming. So
It's gonna
that's
bring in
awesome.
some revenue, I guess.
America's Most Wanted is
once
still a
you
thing
like her.
backstage. It's not that I'm downplaying America's Most Wanted, but okay, it served its purpose. What are we doing now? I love James Storm though.
No, it has not served its purpose. I talked about this last night when he went live at the same time. America's Most Wanted is a legendary company. You wouldn't have people like other podcasts talking about, oh, the Dudley Boys that came back for SummerSlam and it served its purpose. No, you're gonna get Twitter going crazy, YouTube going crazy. They sharing the Dudley Boys, watching the highlights several times. Impact is doing everything right, you guys. They're doing everything right. And it's not fair that people picks on this company, but the same things because Impact is in a slump now because they are fighting for their life, their livelihood. Let's just be honest because they need top talent. They don't need to sign on any talent. Look what happened to NXT. Had to rebrand themselves to NXT 2.0. So that being said, Impact just I mean, they doing the exact same things like AEW and WWE. In my view, since they're the only ones on TV, they're the third largest wrestling company in North America because Access TV can be reached in 50 million homes, and they should be at least doing 1 or 2 million higher than AEW. And AEW, I think, does like 900 views. Like they start off competing with NXT. They wouldn't even really compete with WWE Raw or SmackDown, even though they're a major company. So I don't know. That's really all I gotta say. Um, yeah, I don't know why people always talk about the negative things they do. They Impact is doing the same things as WWE and AEW.
Just Chris Harris, he did okay in the match. He did okay, but I just
Mm-hmm.
really question what you do with him at this point.
And you sure didn't get this when Edge came back, and Edge is older. This guy has been around for decades, you know, and Edge can still move around. You every time Impact brings back an old talent and they can still go, they talk about what are they old behinds doing in the ring, but WWE is doing the exact same thing, and they don't point out that because they're bigger, they're number one. Yeah, that's true, but still, you wouldn't get this in no other company if they was to bring when the Hardy Boys debuted in AEW. I was not for that. I wanted them to just hang it up, you know. But I kind of have a feeling that Jeff Hardy would like after he got released from the WWE again for like the third or fourth time, he was gonna reunite with his brother Matt Hardy, which I was not going for because they are old and they need to hang it up. So yeah,
PCO, he's always with Vincent, so I think those guys are going to stay together no matter what. Took on Black Taurus.
I believe it. PCO is the next Impact World Champion. Mark my words. Him and Josh is gonna collide after this whole Honor No More feud is over. PCO is probably gonna leave, and Vincent is probably not gonna have that. They're gonna beat him down, and I guess someone is gonna replace Benson. I don't know who they're gonna replace him with, but it's gotta be somebody good. Maybe Jonah, because Jonah said he wants to come back with Impact, and Jonah got history with PCO, so who knows? And um, Vincent was the one who brought back Jonah, so called, from to life when Jonah basically killed PCO in storyline. So it could happen like that too. Whoever they bring to replace PCO and Benson, gotta be good. But keep Benson and PCO together.
You're not going to hear me say Black Taurus, like they say. Black Taurus. This was another match. We knew who was going to win. I acknowledge it was a good match. I wasn't super into it because I don't really like PCO that much.
Heck yeah.
But PCO has come a
Be
long
right
way in
back one more
his
time.
career for what he's able to do at this stage in his career. I saw him at WrestleCon years ago in New Orleans, and I mean, if you haven't been to WrestleCon, there's just lines of fans for these people.
Mm-hmm.
I remember specifically seeing him, and it wasn't that people weren't going up to him because they go up to everybody.
Yeah,
But he
they
was
sure
sitting
do.
by himself for quite a bit of it, doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't one of the first. guys like, oh, let's go talk to Pierre Lafitte or whatever the hell his name was, and
Yeah.
he's really reinvented himself since then. So that I
Yes.
appreciate as a wrestling fan. I like someone who can really give himself a makeover and like do something.
I agree with him totally. PCO is golden for Impact Wrestling. Yep, he's on his way. It's not gonna happen anytime soon. Probably at Bound for Glory or next year. He's gonna be Impact Wrestling World Champion, and Vincent's gonna be right beside him, like a Paul Heyman.
With it and make it convincing. I mean, he's making this work. I'm just not necessarily a huge fan of him. Doesn't mean I dislike him. We just can't like everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
I like Black Taurus a lot better.
Yeah, he's
I knew
good
he
too.
wasn't going to win the freaking match. Of course he
Tell me
didn't.
about it. He never wins
But
nothing
you're
nowadays.
dragging out the PCO Honor No More stuff a little bit longer because he gets the win. So now all of a sudden PCO is a winner.
hmm
You know, we'll see. We'll see what they do from
Yeah,
there. But to me, the storyline is a super effing boring.
yeah.
Afterwards, though, they corner Crazy Steve, and then Heath comes out, and it's just, I actually sort of like Heath, but I don't like.
And I already told you about Heath earlier in the show, so I ain't gonna be going on with what I think the storyline is gonna play out. So y'all can reap if y'all missed this, what I talked about with the Heat and the PCO and how I put all the storylines together. Some kind of way, it's gonna work, and it may not work like how I explained it to you guys, but it's gonna be cool. So just hang in there with this storyline.
Anything they have him do. There's just the story he's involved with. Bullet Club had a little interview backstage. What was cool about this is like the first time we saw on Impact Television, we see the four of them together, the four Impact guys, which is wild because for the longest time, Impact had nobody in the Bullet Club. And then they tease, hey, there's going to be one person who joins. And I'm like, who the hell do they want? And Chris Bay, perfect. We've been excited for what the Bullet Club can mean for him because we like Chris Bay.
Yeah,
And now Ace Austin's involved, and of course, the Bad Brothers. So this was kind of okay, but
I'm gonna correct BQ on that. He said the Bad Brothers. He meant the Good Brothers. Lewis Carr, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers. uh, that was a mistake by BQ. Continue.
now they're gonna wrestle Honor No More next week. I mean, just like the Violent by Design stuff with Josh Alexander. I mean, my God, you're just dragging these out because who wins next week? If the Bullet Club wins, Honor No More looks like a bunch of goofs. If Honor No More wins, the Bullet Club is going to end up wanting another rematch. What the hell? What are they doing here? One of these two matches.
He didn't complain again. Just enjoy it. I'm just saying. I already said that Anthem Sports Entertainment, the minute someone comes available as a free agent or they want out their contract with WWE or um, AEW, that's a top talent, not no NXT person, because nobody too much want to know who they are. And if they watching WWE, it should be real. Um, it's got to be a major talent, okay? Someone that can get fans and bring in revenue for Impact Wrestling. Get that checkbook ready, Anthem, for Impact Wrestling. Give them a lot of resources, unlimited resources, so we can get back into big arenas.
The Violent by Design one and the Honor No More matches. One of these two matches, I think, is going to have some fuckery because you got they're almost the same exact freaking storyline, but you got PCO, they're teasing breaking him up, and then you got Eric Young teasing
Oh, they
breaking
gonna
off
break him up
from
if like I said
violent by design or
earlier,
kicking them to the curb or telling them they're losers. Like it's
so
really like the
yeah,
same story,
it's gonna
just
be a good
tweaked a little bit.
storyline when they finally
I
get
can't
to it.
imagine both are going to have a clean finish. I wouldn't be shocked if neither of them did. But the
Mm,
match, I don't care about either of those matches. I cannot begin to tell you how much I don't. Brian Myers was walking around backstage after this. To me, Brian Myers is hilarious. He
mhm,
took that picture and signed it, and he's funny. He's a funny dude. And then he walks up to Johnny Swinger, another funny dude.
mhm.
Zicky
Yeah,
Dice,
they had
kind
some
of
comedy
funny,
in there. That's for
you
sure.
know,
They don't need to just not be
in
funny at
spurts.
all. That
In
was
his
good.
moments, he can be good. He can be entertaining.
Yeah, sure can.
But it was an entertaining segment.
Hmm.
And then Bhupinder Gujjar comes.
That was a
And all I was thinking in my head, this is the talented kid.
yeah.
Looks like $1 million. But what is the benefit of having him as a babyface? Is it because they didn't want to have too many Indian heels and just have this stereotype? If you're Indian, you're going to be a bad guy.
I'm gonna cut him off right there. Not really, in my view. Um, WWE tried the same thing with Jinder Mahal. He was Indian. They had put the WWE title around his waist, and yeah, he was hot for a while during, I guess, the pandemic or before the pandemic or whatever the case may be. But WWE didn't know what to do with him. It's like every wrestling company doesn't know what to do with these Indian dudes. I mean, the only one I could think of that they knew how to, you know, what to do with him was the Great Khali, because he was 7'2" or 7'3", but people sometimes say he's 7 foot tall. But yeah, and he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. That's about the only one, because he was like a super heavyweight. I mean, this guy was stacked. That's the only one. No other wrestler company doesn't know what to do with foreign wrestlers, in my view. So you get what you get with these companies.
He would have benefited so much more from working with Raj and Shira. And then if you break him off later, which is usually inevitable with this kind of stuff, then okay, cool, that'll work. But what was the point of him coming in as a baby face?
Tell me
What
about
I
it.
don't understand who really benefited from it. Like, yeah, the people kind of liked him. Well,
I
they
didn't.
like
I
him.
didn't.
The,
I
the,
didn't.
the
I
fans
didn't
like
really
him.
like him, to be honest. I don't know
He comes out
about
with
that.
this horrible finisher that doesn't look good,
Mm-mm.
and before
Sure
you know it,
don't.
he's in the reverse battle royal. So, what was this all about? If
It,
you're
it,
trying to push him to like do something, to be something, I get it, but they haven't.
yeah, because like I said, every other company doesn't know what to do with foreign wrestlers nowadays, except for the Great Khali. That's the only one. Sadly to say. So that's why you think Jinder Mahal is stuck in the mid card and he can't get back out there into top contendership for the main title again. And he's a former WWE champion.
So why I don't understand why he's a babyface.
Yeah.
He comes out here like he can't really talk. I mean, he can talk. He knows the English language. He can speak. But his
He
promos
speaks
are not
better
good. The
than
acting is not
The
good.
Great Khali, that's for sure.
And obviously, he doesn't speak crystal clear English. So I mean, it just doesn't. It doesn't translate. It doesn't hit. And a
Hmm.
guy like Brian Myers is going to talk circles around a dude like that.
Heck yeah.
And now next week we're getting Bhupinder versus Johnny Swinger. Set your DVRs.
That was
Then
a
we got this
terrible
random
match.
Shira
That was just a crown
versus
match.
Rich Swan match. Rich Swan, who is one of the few left with a great, great, great theme song in the
Hmm.
company.
Heck
Probably
yeah.
means they're going to
He's a
change
former
it like they
Impact
did
right?
Taya's and give him something like Jonah's theme or something.
Oh, well, Jonas' theme is okay now.
At first, I said, "What is this random ass match doing?"
Now, I'm gonna cut him off. Jonas' theme is bad. Okay, it's just good. If Jonas was in WWE and had or AEW and had the same theme, you would not hear no one talking about his theme. Okay, they would say, "Oh, this a bad theme. I'm gonna jam to this in the car." I'm just saying, his theme is okay. Rick's run theme, yeah, it's decent. It's not bad as Jonah, but everybody got their opinion.
on the show. And then and at least I give them props for this. They took us back to Against All Odds, and there was a little interview with Rich backstage, and Raj walks up to him, which he seems to do quite a bit. That's his main mission in the company is to walk up to people while they're being interviewed. But I love everything Rich Swann does. Everything. Like, there's nothing that you're gonna see Rich Swann do and see, oh, that freaking sucked. Like, this dude, to me, is the best wrestler in the company, just for my liking. You know,
Well, yeah. I mean,
um,
he's decent.
he wins the match, not even with his finisher. He does the 450. What do you do with Shira at this point? And Raj, like, again, don't beat anybody.
Hmm.
Everyone can't win. I get that. Like, some people have to be in a jobber capacity.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's just I would rather see them bring on the John Skylers and stuff where you're like, hey, this guy's just there to lose. We just know he's there to lose. But then when you've got guys like Shira, who's
Like I said before, Anthem needs to. If somebody comes up available from Impact or WWE and they ask for the release or unhappy with their contracts in them two companies, they need to sign some top talent because people don't know who these guys are. That's why Impact is not invested in them. That's why Anthem is not invested in them because what money are they bringing toward the table? I mean, Impact would build a star. Don't get me wrong. They did it for 20 years. They built stars. Okay, so I don't know what Anthem is doing, but give them unlimited amounts of money. You know, sign some top talent. WWE tried this before, like I said before, many times. They tried to sign indie talent in NXT. It didn't work. People wasn't invested in that. They got boring with that crap. You know, you need main talent. And mark my words, Sasha Banks and Naomi will show up in Impact Wrestling in the Knockouts division. And I hope it gonna shut everyone up that Impact ain't broke. They can afford anybody with ease.
taking up screen time with these backstage segments, like promising we're gonna do this, we're gonna win this, and then they don't do any of that. And then 2 weeks later, they come out and do the same thing, and then they have a match and they don't win. John Schuyler's not taking up. He hasn't even been on TV in forever. But he's not taking up time on our screens. You know what I mean? He's
Mm-hmm.
not backstage wasting 5 minutes of the show.
And like all the other
So
companies
that
be
that's kind
doing,
of the difference for me. Bring in some guys we know we're gonna lose.
like all the
That's
companies be
fine.
doing, like AEW and
But if you
WWE,
got guys like this that you've got a manager type dude and a big
the same thing that
bruiser,
WWE
and
and
they're
AEW
threatening people, but then
does, but no one
they don't
points that
deliver
out.
on anything that they say. And that's kind of a theme. Honor No More, Violent by Design. A lot of the
AEW,
time, they
I
don't
mean
deliver on
Impact
what
is
they
doing the
say
same
they're
thing
gonna do. But
as AEW and
Swan,
WWE,
he's just
but you
so
get
masterful, and he
no
makes he makes
criticism with
Shira look
them.
like
Maybe
a
every
real
once in a while.
monster,
But other than
and
that,
Swan can sell
oh,
his ass
this was a
off.
great match. This was
He does
good.
all the flipping shit,
Star
but
standing
it's
backstage not
logical. Like,
doing
that's
nothing.
why I like what he
Yay!
does. He's not flipping just for the sake of flipping. Like, he does it because it's flashy, but he doesn't do it for no reason.
Hmm.
His wrestling psychology is excellent. But I love Rich Swan, man. I also like Giselle Shaw. She was backstage with the Influence. I like Tennille's hair a lot.
I love Giselle Shaw. I
I
don't
like
care where
Tennille a
she was
lot.
doing that.
I don't know
Tanel is
quite what they're doing
okay.
here. I don't know if
Um,
Madison is going to end up teaming with Giselle because I think
it's leaning toward that way.
Tennille's doing the movie.
I think Tanel's gonna take some time off,
Masha Slamovich is
and
clearly
Janelle
going
is
to write
gonna
her off
team
television
up with Madison
to go
Rain
do what she's got to do.
to
It's
become
pretty clear.
Knockouts Tag Team Champions. And whenever Tanel's
But I
finished
don't
with her
want Tennille to
moving
go
bacon,
anywhere because this is a
uh,
good role
sh-
for Madison
sh-
Rain, and I don't want her to
trust
fall
me.
back into some role that we don't want to
Oh,
see her
trust
in,
me, that is not gonna
or
happen in no comments.
pop
She's
up on
not.
commentary or something
Nah,
like that.
nah.
I like
That's
the
not gonna happen.
dynamic with
The Impact
Giselle
has learned their
Shaw.
lesson.
So they're three of
It's
my
not
favorites.
happening. Not when
I
her
enjoy them
husband
quite a bit.
is a
What I
producer
didn't enjoy
backstage.
is Ty Valkyrie and Rosemary backstage.
Hmm.
The magic that the two of them had is just not there. But I also pointed out the same about Mike and Maria.
Now I'm gonna cut him off with that. What during the pandemic, when Ty Bakery left the company to go pursue a dream to be in WWE NXT before it was revamped and everyone got released and it came into NXT 2.0, they was gonna do probably the exact same thing with her and Rosemary because they had teamed them up and everything during the pandemic. Let's just be real. Trust me, with a thin roster, you get what you get until a golden opportunity from WWE or AEW, some top talented people is released or want out their contract, which BQ talked about a couple of, I guess, top talent or whatever stars it is. They want out their contract of AEW because they're not satisfied. You know, they standing backstage, ain't being used, uh, having dark matches, which they're not getting on TV. Yeah, they still making money, but they want to wrestle. These guys want to wrestle, and Impact Wrestling is the perfect place to be. They Anthem give Impact, like I said several times in this video, give them unlimited amounts of resources and money to sign top talent. Pay these people what they want, like TNA Impact used to do.
And some other people who, when they return, EC3 when he showed up, there's something about the current presentation of Impact where we just don't click with who's on screen the way we did in Orlando and previous to that. There's just something missing.
I agree with BQ on that. I think they should go back to Orlando. I know AEW is doing Chicago live shows for a while. They stuck in Chicago because of CM Punk. You know, it's the top main star. Let's just be real about that. When AEW is not in Orlando, okay, I don't know why Impact Wrestling relocated to just going on tour to random arenas, small arenas at that, instead of staying in Orlando where they can bring in more fans, more revenue. It can look and sound good. They can go back to the six-sided ring. They can go back to the old Titantron. Mind you, they don't need to use TNA no more. Just use Impact Wrestling. Make it good. Just like, I mean, they have the resources when they was up there. So I agree with them on that. They need to stop touring. Just go back to Orlando. Bring back the six-sided ring. Make it look and sound good. Because Anthem Sports Entertainment ain't broke. Impact Wrestling ain't broke. They can afford anything with ease. They own Access TV for crying out loud. Which you can check with your local programming because Access TV can be reached in 50 million homes. Okay, this viewership should be doing at least a million or 2 million. You know, I don't expect it to go that high because Raw doesn't go that high no more. They only go to 1 million.
But it seemed like these two's dynamic was such an important part of the show at one point, and now they're just backstage, excuse me, doing silly shit. They're going to
Like
enter the undead realm,
like other companies be doing. Like
which not very many people like. They've done
so, you talk about what Impact is doing with the Undead Realm, right? Which uh you had SmackDown on the 4th of July. Well, I think it was Raw. No, it was Raw. On the 4th of July on Monday Night Raw, you had some corny mess with somebody going to carnivals. Had the wrestlers going to carnivals, the ones that you don't use on TV, going to carnivals. I think this was kind of taped, and because they had some of the stars backstage, some was competing that same night. Um, but you had that. But you wanna people want to bash Impact for having some kind of at least trying to entertain the people. Make that make sense, okay? I disagree on that.
some decently entertaining stuff. I don't think it's horrible. You know, when they try to
It's
pretend it's
not horrible.
horror and people are scared, that's when I'm
Look at
like, you're
Raw. Look at
insulting me.
SmackDown. The stuff they be.
They're not doing anything too stupid, in my opinion,
Heck yeah, they
but
not.
it's still not very good. A
It's
lot of people
decent.
don't like it.
You'd be a bit
They got
surprised,
away
BQ.
from the
You'd
hokey
be a bit
shit.
surprised.
Jim Cornette won't watch Impact. The one time he tuned in, it was for Who Shot Bravo, and I was just in a Facebook group yesterday,
That was during the
just today or
pandemic at
yesterday.
that.
It was the same shit. Someone
It's funny. Jim Cornette. Um, Jim Cornette has no room to talk because when the Anthem Sports Entertainment bought Impact, they brought him in to the company in 2017. He was working for Anthem Sports Entertainment. Now, mind you, yeah, they had top talent. They had Bobby Lashley, they had Cody Rhodes. They at one time brought in, um, well, they brought him in to fire Bruce Pritchard, because they was writing him off of the scene. But he was working for Impact, that was owned by Anthem Sports Entertainment. So you was with this company from the very start, and now you want to bash this company, and they doing the exact same things like AEW and WWE. No, 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 dude. You was old and you need to hang it up. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to bash nobody, no other podcast or no other streamer. I'm just saying this. Make that
doesn't
make
watch
sense.
Impact, but they tuned in for Who Shot Bravo, and they haven't watched since, or they happen to tune in for that episode, got the Bravo stuff, haven't watched it since. And I'm like, well, that storyline was forever ago, but people tie that stuff in with what Impact is doing. So the Undead Realm stuff, I don't know if anyone really wants to see it.
Hey,
I
it's
guess
better
some of
than
the
Raw.
diehards,
It's better than Smack.
Rosemary and all that,
Heck yeah.
they're
I,
gonna go look for
I
Havoc.
love Rosemary.
We'll see
Heck
what the
yeah.
storyline is,
We
but these
need
are the
something
Knockouts
different
Tag
at
Team
least
Champions.
to be entertaining. That's why I'm be
About to
entertaining.
do some
Trust me.
hokey shit. The only
I wish he stopped saying hokey because when Mr. Ken Anderson was over there, he said he left the WWE because a little birdie, namely Triple H, a half Hall of Famer, this got in there because of DX, like 2, 3, 4 years ago, said, whispered in Vince McMahon's ear, saying the things that he was doing was hokey. Okay, what Raw and SmackDown is doing is hokey. Having someone throw up on somebody in the ring is hokey as heck. Make that make sense, okay? So give Impact Wrestling their flowers. These people have been around for 20 years. Mind you, these will get a lot better. These will sound a lot better. I agree, totally. I'm not taking up for Impact the way it look. It needs to sound better. Anthem Sports Entertainment, give Impact Wrestling unlimited resources to do their thing so it can grow bigger, get into bigger arenas, so it can sound good, bring back that six-sided ring, you know? But, yeah, that's all I gotta say.
thing that's gonna like make me like take my words back is if they
Mm-hmm.
find Havoc
Mm-hmm.
and she is there with somebody else, with another partner, and turns on.
Oh, yes. And you know what? It's time for Su Young to return. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they going to do that route. Su Young and Havoc versus her former friends, Ty Bakary and Rosemary, for the Impact Knockouts Championships. Put those belts on Havoc and Su Young. That would be the most dominant tag team in the Knockouts division that anyone has ever seen. And everyone loves Su Young. Trust me, if that happened, y'all gonna give me my flowers. Put that in the comments and say, LiLSilver, YouTube Gamer was right.
Them. That's about okay. That's good shit. What do they got? But if they just go rescue Havoc and then she's around,
That's not gonna happen, bro.
I don't think I have interest in that. But I can't imagine
This is
she would
that's
incorporate
not
herself with
they're
Ty and
not gonna
Rosemary.
they're not gonna waste a good spot
So I
like that.
think the potential for something good is coming.
Yeah, Su
I'll say
Young,
that.
Su
But
Young
right
will
now, I don't have
return.
a whole lot of interest
Su Young's return,
in
and
the
they probably
undead
gonna
realm.
keep it a
But
secret too, because they don't want
just
this
the pink
Impact.
lights in the background and
Impact is
everything.
tomorrow.
It's just supposed to be scary and
Impact Wrestling is tomorrow at tomorrow night on Thursday night at 8/7 Central. on Access TV. Okay, don't DVR the show. We need to hit at least 500,000, 900 something, or a million or 2 million, because Access TV can reach over 50 million people. 50 million homes can be uh, that has Access TV in their homes. 50 million people has Access TV, and they need to at least be doing a lot better. Sue Young is gonna come back tomorrow. I guarantee it. Hopefully, I'm right.
Intimidating. I don't really know, but I guess Ty is going to the undead realm to be a friend, to be a pal. She's going to leave
Yeah,
John Morrison
because
at home with Fufu or whatever the dog is, and
why does he bring him up? He's in the AEW. He does. He's not even in the company. No fact. I'm just saying. PQ is crazy. Um, but yeah, Ty Barricade has to go with the backup Rosemary because they're gonna fight in underground. Okay, and somehow they're gonna continue to fight, and maybe they have Havoc and Su Young um, steal the titles, the knockouts tag team titles. That can go that route too, or they just fight and just eat transport in the ring, or backstage. They can't really do the whole effects thing because they got people in the ring. So yeah, but yeah, that's what's gonna most likely happen. It's gonna be Su Young and Havoc versus Rosemary and Ty Valkyrie for the Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Champions at the next pay per view.
she's going to enter the realm. She may not come back.
Yeah, she
She,
coming back. She
she's
probably
not
ain't
even
gonna
going
be
to
the
call her
same.
husband.
That's for sure. When she sees Su
She's just
Young.
going to enter the realm and roll the dice and see what happens.
Yeah.
So main event
Yes.
of the show: Mia Yim versus Jordan Grace. What I say at the top, I said this was the best wrestling show they have put out in a long time. Wrestling. All the other in between stuff
Hmm.
was not good.
Yeah. It was just
When
like
I say
WWE.
it was not good, that is my opinion. I'm not saying it's fact.
Yeah.
That's just the way I speak.
Yeah.
This
I
is
know.
not good. I wasn't entertained by 99% of it.
That's true.
But the
That's true. I
matches
agree with you on that.
were good.
Hmm.
I don't want Impact to fall into a company. It's like we're
Hmm.
just relying on giving you good matches, and then
Like
the
yeah,
stories
like NWA
turn
or
to shit.
RH. Yeah. They've
Ring
been
of
around for
Honor for a
20
long
years.
time, for
Hmm.
almost the entire time, was just like, hey, we're just giving you awesome matches.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right, cool. There's a fan base for that.
Hmm.
The Impact fan base, I don't think, wants to just, 5 star, 4 star. What's Meltzer got to say?
Hmm.
We appreciate the good matches, but I don't think we're, that.
And Dave Meltzer been around for years. Mind you, he's one of the original podcasters. And most of the podcasts get their wrestling information. Sometimes the guy could be wrong and sometimes it could be right. But you can't really listen to him. You gotta listen to people like this, like the ones that don't really bash Impact, but want Impact to get better. That's why it comes down so hard on the guys, on the company. Lewis Carlson, subscribe to the Alliance Pro Network. Subscribe to my channel, cause like I said before, hundreds turn into thousands, thousands turn to millions, and we could get Impact's name out there, so it could be back on top. And Anthem would see that. Anthem would give them a lot of resources to sign top talent like Sasha Banks, starting with the women's division, and Naomi. Because wherever Sasha Banks and Naomi land, they fan base, they lower fan base is gonna fall.
That's all we want. And right now, it seems like that's what they're leaning on. It's just we're just giving you good wrestling. Okay, go one way or another. Don't I don't know, folks. I just want to get back to some really cool storylines because usually the creative side, for the most part, was one of the things that they've done a pretty good job with, like consistently over the years. Yeah, there's some bad creative. Every company has bad creative, but that's all subjective too. Because
Yeah, every company
some
has the same
person
thing,
might
doing the
like the
same thing.
Undead Realm, some person
Hmm.
might
That's
hate it.
just like some people
Same with
may.
Who Shot Bravo and Wrestle House. I
That
like
was
Wrestle.
now. It was crazy how Tommy Dreamer yelled out. And y'all could pull this old clip up. This just type in Impact Wrestling 2020 Wrestle House. Okay. At the end it was classic. It was so funny. I'm just saying. Most people, it's like, what the fuck? It was funny. Like how he just screamed out there, no. But yeah, um, that was good right there. It was a moment though for the new Impact Wrestling, you know. But like I said before, Anthem Sports Entertainment needs to get on unlimited resources, let them do their thing, sign some top talent, Sasha Banks, Naomi, you know what I'm saying? You know, so they could grow. Wherever Sasha Banks and Naomi land, strong fan base that will follow behind those guys. I mean, behind those ladies. Yep.
Wrestle House. I didn't like any of the other shit, but Swingers Palace like was killing me.
Tell me about
You
it.
know, we all
Swinger House was just
like different things, but if they
craziness.
make it
I
to
agree
like
with on
come
that
here to
Wrestle
have
House thing.
amazing matches with Josh Alexander, man, I just don't think I don't think that's it. There's got to be a better balance of that with really good stories because Impact, you know, they can be that company. I always say, who's their target audience? I don't think they know. The target audience should be the fan who likes good wrestling but likes good stories also because it always seems like it's one or the other with companies. You know, they go one way, but they don't deliver on the other end. You know, Impact can be that company like, hey, you're gonna watch good, logical, sensible matches that don't go too long, that they don't have 50,000 near falls. Because if you notice with Impact's matches, they don't go for the pin that much. That better protects a lot of the moves. If you're not just having to find a way to new ways to kick out of something that you shouldn't have had to kick out of. You know the super finishers and all that. So the matches are very logical, but you can convey that like you're going to get logical wrestling here, and then you're going to get creative storytelling outside of the box stories, the stuff that no one else is doing, no one else is touching. I'm not saying that's what they do, but you can present both and bring in both those types of people. But right now, it's like Josh Alexander just has a bunch of great matches, so let's everyone else just have a bunch of great matches, and then we're gonna run into each other backstage. We're gonna bump into each other. We're gonna interrupt each other doing interviews. We're gonna do all that crap. But another top notch knockouts match. I think I said Jordan Grace versus Mia Yim. I don't even know if I said the wrestlers. It's getting pretty late for me. I really should be in bed right now because I get up early. It's Mia Yim and Deanna Purrazzo, and it's a number one contendership match. I knew Mia Yim was going to win. I don't like seeing Deanna lose, but I really do think her and Chelsea are going to get the knockouts tag team titles and have them for a while. I really think they're going to have them for a while. And I've been saying with Mia Yim, I was like, she's going to get that big title shot. That's coming. Like Impact was not going to wait to give her a real program for the championship. And I've been saying she's going to be in the main event of Bound for Glory. Like I'm sure of it, and I'm still sure of it. I still think one way or another she's going to be in it. If it's a 3-4 knockout match, whatever it is, like she's going to be there. She's going to be one of the people. It might be a rematch of this match with Jordan Grace. I think the Jordan Grace match, the emergence match, I think we're going to be talking about that one as one of the top like 5 knockouts matches of all time. I really truly think that. I really think they're going to deliver to that point that we're just like, yo, let's. This is a classic. We need to watch this again. What they did with Trey Miguel and Speedball Mike Bailey last show, this can be that equivalent for the knockouts. I think it's going to be. I hope it main events the show. I hope it's the last thing that goes on, but we don't know what Josh is going to do. We don't have a clue what Josh is going to do. It's almost like we're going to fight Violent by Design next week because he has to wrestle somebody. That gives us time to figure out who the hell is going to have a program for the title. Like, I have no idea. None. I mean, Steve Macklin makes sense, but then he just kind of aligned himself with Moose, and I don't know who's gonna wrestle this dude. There's probably gonna be some goof from Japan. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Impact, stop relying on these indie people from New Japan because you need some top talented people in order to grow the company. You don't need indie people. Don't not know who these indie people are. Okay, for crying out loud. Like I said before, Anthem, get your pocketbook ready ace out because this is a do or die moment for all wrestling companies. All these companies are doing basically the same thing, doing the same crap, just putting together anything just to make money, a little bit of money, and that ain't right.
No, Chris Harris is Chris Harris in the main event emergence and take on Josh Alexander for the Impact World
No,
Title? Probably.
God, no, no, no.
That's all I got for you guys tonight. I need to get a little shut eye. I get up.
Like I said, subscribe to the Impact Lounge. They link to their channels in the description. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell. Like, share. You know, because like I said before, hundreds turn into thousands. Thousands turn into millions. It can expand Impact's fan base. Okay, because this is a do or die moment. Anthem Sports Entertainment. Get your pocketbook ready. I said this many times in this video. Give them unlimited resources to sign top talent. The first two people is on your list to sign. Give them what they're worth. Sasha Banks and Naomi. And to then, peace.
So actually, you know what? Tomorrow's actually my day off, but I'm driving out to Indiana, go to a WNBA game, watch my Indiana Fever play. So I got to leave kind of early because it's an early game. Instead of my one day to sleep in. So I'm going to take some time for myself to go do something. So thanks for checking in to the stream. Sorry I couldn't get to questions. As I said,
Because
it's kind of
I
difficult for me to
had a
do
lot of responses in
a
this
one
thing.
man show and to start reading off
Good responses too.
questions and all that.